dun, dun, dun.
Oh, we're on the internet? How about that? It's the internet.
Probably.
I don't know. My phone has not alerted me that it's...
Mine has.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
My phone said, hello.
It's like,
The
watch
BMFcast
now.
is on the internet.
Oh, there it is. Watch live now. Bad Movie Fiends. Bad Movie Fiends, episode 567, Ninja 2009 live stream.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
YouTube, it's like OnlyFans, but for anyone that wants to show up.
It's like OnlyFans for cheap people.
Yeah. Random people can show up and going, hey, this isn't Ninja from 2009. This is just some white dudes talking about it.
I'm glad we don't get much of that anymore.
Yeah.
Like the people who are angry that it's not the actual movie itself.
Right.
I'm just like, it's like $5 to rent it. Just come on, man.
Wow, the YouTube app is just a Chrome skin
It is.
that only goes to YouTube.
That's correct.
Wow. Great job,
Correct you are.
Samsung.
Time to turn off top chat. Go to live chat.
Oh, right,
right.
chat. I should open up the chat.
Live chat.
I forgot about the chat.
Live chat.
Live a shot.
Live chat.
I don't just live chat.
Pray.
I am chat. I eat.
I just
Laugh
want this
chat.
Pray, chat. Laugh. Love. I eat.
Laugh chat.
Like that is
Laugh chat.
What? That's red.
Oh, you want the color of blood. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's not coming
Pray,
through really
chat.
well.
Hey, what are you doing? Why are you
Laugh.
playing again? Stop that.
Yeah, we can make it cop colors over here.
Oh no, change it.
Get the old cherries and berries.
Need to point yours a little bit more in your direction,
I like the flashing red light.
just so it bleeds through less to mine.
It reminds me of the Kryptonian sun.
Reminds me of the Kryptonian sun.
You know, when he said it that way, I heard it coming over like that immediately.
Well, I was just trying to do Terrence Stamp's overacting, where I enunciate everything. Kneel before Zod. That's a reminder. If you haven't seen The Limey, go watch The Limey.
Dude, Limey's so good.
It's so fucking good. That and Sexy Beast. You should watch both those.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I still haven't seen Sexy Beast
That's a
yet,
really
but-
good combo of like
Yeah.
badass British gangster dudes, just
But yeah,
that are scary as shit.
Limey's. I'll tell him I'm coming.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. And man, that one's so good for like the non-linearity of it. It's really good.
Just a random, like, just if you've never seen that, do.
Yep, that's Soderbergh at his peak.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was just like, I'm going to do this thing, and I don't care what anybody else thinks about it.
Well, he's still doing that. It's just now nobody cares about it.
I know.
It's just he's just gotten to like, what if I make a porn star an actress? What if I shoot a movie on an iPhone?
Yeah,
what if I do?
He hit a point where it was just like I
alright.
need a new gimmick
Yeah.
each movie, and it was it didn't always serve the movie. I still need to watch Logan Lucky.
Actually, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
that's. a normal
I know
movie.
that's way more of a straightforward movie for him. So
Yeah. Yeah, what was his iPhone movie?
not Bubble.
Yeah,
Was it Bubble?
Like, was it like something? Wasn't it Unsane? Is that him?
I think so. I don't.
I think that might be. his.
Honestly, I just don't.
Unwatchable is what it is. I don't know. It might be. I don't know.
Whoa.
He really did lose me at a
I gotta
certain
do a
point,
tweet.
like
Yeah.
in the
I watched the
mid-2000s.
Girlfriend Experience. I wished I hadn't, and also I don't know why it's persisting. Like I guess there was a show based on it or something. Like I don't know why.
Oh yeah, there was a like a Showtime show. or
Okay, I'm
something.
just saying. Like it was one of those things where I was like, I don't know why this exists, and it's like I said, it's all, whenever things continue on, and I'm like, why? That was one of them.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's a TV show where it's based on some movie, and it's like, why? Like, why that? Like, who wanted more of that? I mean, I know that's not a continuation of a story or something like like Teen Wolf the TV show or something, but I'm saying like it's just a general idea, but still.
Oh no, I need a link. I need a link. I need a link. I need a link.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Exactly. Copy this motherfucker. Paste this motherfucker.
Oh, motherfucker.
Yep, all filmed in Bulgaria.
Yes.
Haha.
It's a great ninja movie.
Wait, did I tweet that
Number
on my
one.
account? Who knows?
Number one ninja movie.
You want ninja? We give you ninja.
I
One
get to 3 ninja by the end of the day.
We're in. Yes, I did paste it. I did post it on my own fucking account. I'm an
Yuri,
idiot.
Sergey, you can be ninja.
Delete. Where do I delete? Delete, delete, delete. Success deleting.
A tumbler full of whiskey is pretty good.
Oh, really?
That's actually just sweet tea, but it's
Nah.
movie whiskey.
Mm. Ninja is.
Guess it really doesn't work when you put it in a red tumbler. It doesn't really matter what color the liquid is.
It really doesn't.
Redtumblr.tumblr.com.
All right, let's look this up on Letterboxd.
There we go.
See what the average is. Alternative titles. Ninja. What a bunch of crappy
solid.
old. I don't even think that's him on the cover. I think it's that other guy on the cover, which is good. Because that guy,
I had no idea this was a Scott Adkins movie.
yeah. I thought he was like British or something.
Who's Scott Adkins?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of that other guy.
An English actor and martial artist.
Gary Daniels. That's who you're thinking of.
Oh, Gary Daniels.
Yeah.
He's from New Zealand.
Right. Yes. I'm sorry.
London, New Zealand.
Kiri Daniels.
Gary Daniels. He was in Doctor Strange? Scott Adkins? What?
Yeah, he's one of the, what's his face's acolytes or whatever. Mads Mikkelsen. What? I can't remember his
really?
name. Yeah.
So he probably doesn't have any lines.
Morgo? Is that his name?
Oh,
No,
Mordo?
Mordo is
Mordo
is
Chua Tokwe
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for attempting that before I could.
Yeah.
That's another thing. If you've never seen Red Belt, you should watch Red Belt.
Yeah.
David Mamet. It's a
Oh,
good
he's
movie.
in John Wick Chapter 4.
Mm.
Man, there's a lot of movies I'd completely forgotten about that he's in. Unleashed.
What, the Jet Li thing?
Yeah.
Danny the Dog, you mean? Which was a better title.
Yes.
Bob Hoskins was in that, wasn't he? He's like, oh, you're Danny the Dog.
He was in The Accidental Spy.
Jackie Chan?
Yep.
Okay.
Man, a lot of these covers look exactly the same.
Are they all from 2009?
Well,
Yeah,
I watched the
sure
Scott
feel
Adkins movie like on purpose, like on my own. So
Yeah.
he's in Ip Man 4, the finale.
Oh, he's in the fourth one.
Mm-hmm. Playing the best possible thing he could play, which is a asshole racist guy. I'm just saying, like he works better as a villain for me. He doesn't have a hero's face. I'm sorry.
Or charisma.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like he's.
I mean, any charisma.
Yeah.
Not just hero's charisma.
And it was Expendables 2 that he's in.
See, my joke stands.
Who was he in X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Expend 2 bowls.
Probably one of the other X-Force people, whatever they're called.
Jesus
They weren't
Christ,
X-Force.
There's
I
like
don't know.
fucking 50 people in that movie.
I mean, that's the one that had like Will.i.am in it, right? He wasn't. He like they were just like casting whoever the fuck they
that's
wanted.
right.
Yeah. And he was somebody. He was a mutant, I think. I don't remember which mutant he was. But.
Oh wait, he was John Wraith / Kestrel. I don't remember that character.
Kestrel.
Actually, had a decent saber tooth.
Mhm.
You have Schreiber.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you hire an actor instead of a wrestler, and that works.
Yeah, funny how that happens. Yeah, good old Scott's way down the list. I don't even. Oh, yeah, he's weapon 11.
Okay.
I don't remember
11.
the other weapons being there. Wait,
Well, I guess that means.
isn't that Phantom X? Which one was Phantom X?
I don't know.
Fuck.
I mean, does that mean like Weapon X is actually Weapon 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I know X-23 is Chloe, the girl.
Yeah, but I mean that was a
Laura.
whole retcon thing
Sure.
anyway. The 10, but yeah, but that describes every comic book ever. So
That's Roman numerals.
yep.
We don't use those so much anymore.
No, because
I mean, we still do on copyrights
we're not Roman
for some reason. Every copyright's still in Roman
Yeah,
numerals.
I don't get that shit.
Which was real easy for a while when it's just
I know that one.
yeah. In the year 2000. Can't be a long So then you're doing crash test dummies.
A very good review by Cinema Void. A ninja using a gun is like a bird using the stairs.
Okay.
You got a point, Cinema Void.
I don't know if it's that disparate. I mean,
I just like the
I
just like the analogy.
the analogy is fine. Yeah. I would just say like a blow dart is kind of cheating too. I mean,
Yeah.
and so a gun's just a faster version of that. I mean, anything.
I mean, it's kind of the
I mean, you know, technically speaking, if you're talking about honor, any ranged weapons is a coward's weapon. So I mean,
Yeah.
just if you're talking about one-on-one combat, that's for damn sure. I had to look up because I thought I know the word tonfa is stuck in my head, but that's the wooden stick thing. But it's
Yes.
I just looked up the farming tool that's also the weapon with the chains.
kunai. No.
Yeah,
kunai
I
is
literally
a
just
pointy
looked
thing.
it up because it's like it's
thought
one
it
thing when
started with a
it's like
K.
a kuma or something like that, but then it's like a god damn it, I'm just gonna fuck it up if I don't I make up shit when I don't know it, but it's two different words.
Kusarigama.
Well, that's the thing where it's on the chain, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chain sickle,
I should remember that from fucking Neo.
which consists of a comma, not
Mhm.
comma, but
Yeah.
comma.
K-A, I meant.
If you listen closely, you can hear the difference. And a kusari.
With a heavy iron weight at the end.
Yes.
That was a pretty fucking sweet weapon to use in Neo. I'll say that.
You're talking about the video game, Nio?
Yes.
Neo? Okay, yeah.
Because, wow.
It's not me today.
Nope, not me. It's him.
Moving some gas today.
Yeah.
That's
Hopefully-
gassy.
Hopefully, hopefully it stays in.
Building a fucking
Pray.
pipeline over there. Oh yeah, I can see Russia from here.
I've only farted in this studio once. Not this studio, the old studio. Actually, the old studio.
Okay.
And Chuck got incredibly angry at me and wouldn't come back in for like 10 minutes. But in his defense,
Was a ripper.
it smelled like a dead body.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be sitting in my car for like
It smelled
3
like
minutes.
that hamster or the gerbil with your gear's ass done.
Pretty much. All right. Did you put this on Twitter?
I did put it on the Twitter. I even retweeted it myself.
put it
Chuck
on Discord?
retweeted it. I put it on Discord as well.
Yeah, I mean, I watched all of the Ip Man movies, and Scott Adkins is in the fourth. Mike Tyson's in the third, for some reason.
I gotta fight that Ip Man.
Yeah. Well, when he speaks in Cantonese, that's real funny.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Ni hao, motherfucker. No, I don't know much Chinese, so I'm sorry.
I don't think anybody does.
There's lots of people that do, like a billion.
I don't know any of them.
1.2 or something.
I don't know any of them, so
all right.
they must not exist.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that speaks Chinese either. That's
I'm
weird.
American. I only speak from my own experience
Yeah.
and then apply it to everyone
I
universally.
mean, I'm American, so like I've had my nails done, and I would say they're speaking Chinese, but they're actually generally speaking Vietnamese.
usually Vietnamese, yes.
But that's just because I'm not racist. Sometimes Korean. It depends on where you are, but
And
it's very rarely
at
Chinese.
least in Jacksonville, it's a crapshoot as to if you go into a Chinese restaurant
Mm-hmm.
or a Japanese restaurant. It's really a crapshoot on what Southeast Asian sort of
Yeah,
makeup is the staff. It could be
Laotian.
literally
I've been to
anything.
one where it was all people from Laos. Yeah,
Korean.
Yeah.
You just never know. I don't know if that's a universal thing.
No, I mean, like I try to strike up conversations where I'm places. I don't just go in and like sit and be passive. So like one time I was in the nail salon because I'm a man. I'm cool with saying I like getting pedicures. I don't
Hell
give a
yeah.
fuck. I'm a modern man.
I mean,
I'm a man. I'm a muppet of a man.
well, we know that.
Like they were all talking, throughout the whole store, like through all the booths. They were just
Talking to each other.
talking to each other. But like this one lady was never talking, and I was like, and she was like, "I'm Korean. They're all Vietnamese, and I don't know their language." And so like, and I was like, "Oh well, we can talk. Like if you could speak enough
Were
English."
you just like, do you think they're talking shit about you?
I just
They are.
Yeah, probably.
Well, maybe
they were
not
probably talking about shit about me,
not
but not
specifically
her.
you. They're talking shit about everybody.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yeah, absolutely. I would. I mean, if I could like work in a place and if I had like a secret language that only employees knew, I mean, if that were possible,
It's called instant message.
that too.
That's how it happens at work usually.
But yeah, I was like, how come everybody's talking but you? And she's like, I'm the only person here from Korea, South Korea. It's like, oh, okay.
She was like, you fucking racist. How did you not know?
I was like, what's up, my soul sister?
Because
Yeah.
Because you're so colorblind that you don't know how to apply.
No, I was just assuming she was from the largest city in South Korea.
Oh,
That's all.
Oh, because you're so racist.
Yeah,
You assume that
I assume
is
everyone's from the one
from
city
Seoul.
that I know.
Right.
That the name of.
And Pyongyang's sister doesn't have the same ring to
Yeah.
it.
I don't know names of Asian cities, so fuck it.
That is
one's
one of
in.
the cities.
That's the joke. Yeah.
Like, do you know the capital of Alaska? No.
That's
Anchorage.
That's a double joke.
It's actually Nome.
I know it.
Juneau's not. Everyone thinks it is.
I was going to make a Diablo Cody joke, but I just couldn't get it out.
Oh.
Dear the internet, please show up and watch us.
Nah. Just do a podcast.
Okay.
All right. I'm for it. I'm in favor. Aye.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Podcast. Hi.
Here you go, right side.
You clap this.
I'm just going to fix my hair first.
Sure.
It's getting loopy.
You're almost
I want to have my hair all perfect.
you're almost at the point where you need to put product in it.
I know. I just get my Lucifer Band swoop going. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 567.
Nice.
Numbers
Ooh.
keep going up. So I'm Harlow,
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
and what we do each and every beautiful episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They go 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot Jocks.
Yes, the pinnacle. However, there are bad movies that stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags and some giant bags of trash.
Boo.
Gyros.
So we are waiting.
We are deep in
yeah,
Ninja
we are
in
in
January.
We're at the finale of Ninja
we're
January
in 3
already.
inches of blood of Ninjanuary, whatever.
I think we said we were up to our knees in.
Sure, okay.
Last
I guess
week,
we're
so-
hip deep in Viscera now, and the in January. We didn't really have so much Viscera last week, so maybe we didn't really accumulate any more Viscera from 3 Ninjas.
No, not really.
I don't know. But this week,
Mid-thigh.
we are just keeping it simple. We are watching a movie called Ninja. But not Enter the Ninja or any other, just Ninja from 2009. The Scott Adkins, Boaz Davidson, Bulgarian thing.
Yep.
I would like to know how many other movies are called Ninja.
Probably a few.
Surprisingly few.
Yeah. I think most people are probably like, we need to put something to differentiate it. Like, sort of like how I've been railing against all these fucking shows that are just a year. It's like, good luck in 5 years describing or remembering that show.
There's Ninja 3, The Domination.
Right.
But, however, I don't believe it's a sequel to Ninja.
It is not, no. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Adkins. I am trying to think of BAMFcast movies he might have been in. Extra, I believe you've had him show up, but I don't think he's been on Prime somehow.
I thought we did one Prime movie. It's again, I'm the wrong person to ask because I can't. I'm surprised. I remember we watched 3 Ninjas last week, but when it comes to past Scott Adkins, like I said, it's it's kind of a void, mostly because he's kind of a void.
Yeah, he's kind of.
I mean, he's pretty good at punching and kicking people. I will say that. Like, clearly,
He is very good.
The
at
man
that.
has skills,
Mhm.
but
When you need him to say stuff.
yeah, he's kind of a black hole of charisma, and not like a good everything bagel kind of way. It's not. I don't know. He's just bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's a bland diet.
You know, it's kind of like I've said about Gary Daniels in the past, where it's just like Gary Daniels should have been bigger, and then like I'll watch a Gary Daniels movie and be like, nah, I don't think so. Actually,
he's kinda
he's
right.
about where he
Yeah.
was supposed to be.
But I mean,
'Cause-
that's the thing is like at least with Gary Daniels, we've at least seen a movie where like holy fucking shit, that movie. I have not. I don't think we've found that for Scott Adkins yet. Like I mean,
I don't know if he has one.
yeah, I mean that's the thing is like I feel like we've put that out there of like what is the one where it's like holy shit, Scott Adkins is amazing. What is that movie? Like I don't even. The funny thing is I don't even remember the name of the
Gary Daniels
one.
Rage.
I remember we
Yeah.
called it Glass Dismissed because he broke so many
Yeah.
fucking pennies
Yeah,
of glass.
Rage.
Right.
Yeah, Rage. But yeah, I mean that is the movie. Like if you're like, what's the deal with Gary Daniels? Go watch Rage. Okay.
Well, fire up your email device and tell us at bmf@bmfcast.com.
And that's also more of a, yeah, but that's more of like a PM Entertainment thing too, not necessarily Gary Daniels. So I think Scott Adkins needed his PM Entertainment.
Possibly.
Instead, he stuck with what is Boaz Davidson and Isaac Florentine, who directed like 90% of his output. It seems like.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. It's like I get kind of when I see Scott Adkins in the cast, but I don't prejudge a movie. When I see Boaz Davidson as a producer, I'm like, fuck. It's sort of like why I was sitting. I 100% committed to watching Top Gun Maverick when we went to the theater, and then
Right.
fucking Aaron Kruger's name showed up in the writing credits, and I audibly went,
It's true. I was there.
yeah. I mean, it was just like I knew from that moment. It was like that was one name where it was just like you have never done anything good. Why do you have a career? Like, and that is one of those people where it's just like, how? Like, who are you related to? Fucking Freddie? Like, like how do you have a career?
He scared everyone.
Yes. Sorry, that's Aaron Kruger, not Boaz Davidson.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a very 2009 movie.
It is possibly the most 2009 movie that I've seen.
Yeah.
It reeks of everything happening in movies in general, but also in cheap movies of the time.
Yeah. And it's going to sound really weird, but I've kind of missed that.
There's a little bit
know?
of nostalgia that's like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
remember when we did that? But also remember that it was mostly awful. Like
Yes.
the whole speed ramping thing,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
the very early handheld push zoom, like,
Yeah.
not zooming, but like tracking in.
There are
Sort
certain
of thing.
I would like to, I'm not a negative person when it comes to talking about movies. However, that does seem to be, well, I mean, I know what we do, but I mean, like, I honestly genuinely try to find the good in things. I don't want to harp on what's bad. It's just sometimes people like M. Night Shyamalan have a whole career. So, it sometimes it feels like it has to be said.
Yeah.
But like I would like to go through a list of cinema sins, like an actual cinema sins, and say who are the people and what are the movies that fucked movies for a period of time. And clearly Zack Snyder and 300 are one of them.
Oh, for sure.
And so is Paul Greengrass in any
Yep.
fucking Bourne movie. So I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, this is a culmination of those two things done very badly. And, you can go back to Tarantino. Tarantino fucked Hollywood for a while because we had to sit through a bunch of poorly written jibber jabber criminal speeches, like, and that was the thing. And so not everybody can write that and make it interesting. So
Yeah. Well, I don't think this is the worst version of those things.
Yeah.
But it is a very of its time version of those things.
Sure. I mean, I was watching. There's one scene when let's talk about the basic plot, I guess,
Yeah.
first. I mean, I think the main problem, besides the era and the filmmaking, is that for some reason people seem to be anti-writing a ninja movie with a good plot. And the thing is like, This one is like you have two divergent ninjas. You have Scott Adkins, who's like the orphan. I mean, it's basically Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I mean, let's
Yeah.
be honest. It is really that fucking story because like there's an orphan.
It's a ninja tale as old as Ninja Time.
Yeah. I mean, it's like an orphan ninja, and then the guy who's been there his entire life, who thinks he's owed everything, but the other guy is actually kind of better, and so he starts getting jealous, and also he's in love with the sensei's daughter, and they're both in love with the sensei's daughter, so they've got that star-crossed lovers thing going.
He's not even
Not even star-crossed,
better.
just, you know, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even better. He's just not a douchebag. Like,
Yeah.
he's just not a shitty human being.
I mean, someone probably has the cast pulled up, but the main antagonist in the movie, I described him as an Asian Norman Reedus, which I think is pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got that reedy look.
He's got he's just
Tsuyoshi Ihara.
he
is
looks
his name.
greasy and he has like odd angles to his face, but he's still angular. Like, I mean, he's chiseled, but like it feels like it was chiseled out of the wrong, sculpt. Like, because Norman Reedus has like cheekbones, but they feel like in the wrong place or something. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
The boy's head ain't right.
Yeah. Anyway, so you got those two people fighting over this J-pop girl. Whatever. I'm just saying she's very nondescript. And
She doesn't even have a photo on
Right.
IMDb. Like she's fine, but she's
fine. I'm just saying.
She is a plot device.
yeah, she is a plot device. I mean, and she has that J-pop girl look of like she looks younger than she is, like because it's gross. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. And then you got their sensei who's like does the you get out because you can't control yourself and you can't
Yeah. I mean, he does have a speech in the beginning that, like, he basically laying out that Scott Adkins and Japanese Norman Reedus are the two best ninjas here, but they both need to learn something that the other one has,
yeah.
which he never really specifies what it is, but it's from there on, it's just bad ninja glaring at Scott Adkins whenever he's doing anything.
Yeah.
And then doing a whoosh as he leaves the room every time because the soundtrack must add a whoosh.
Yeah, lots of whooshies.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I think Scott Adkins was missing anger because, I mean, like in this final fight, like he kind of turns and he's like, oh, anger. And it's like, but, in a better written movie, that might have been spelled out a little better. But, like he was.
Yeah. Like he was too in control.
He was too in control and too compassionate to be a proper ninja,
Right.
And all this. And, like, so he needed a little anger in his life, but not too
He
much.
just needed a little fury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But what happens is they end up having to do a duel at some point. I don't even know if it's a training thing. They're never really clear about it. But they have laid out that eventually one of them will take over the dojo.
Mhm.
And they're doing this mock fight with their wood staffs.
Not just fake swords.
Yeah, just wooden swords. And they get to fighting intensely enough that Bad Ninja's trying to kill him.
Well, yeah, they
Like he
ends
breaks
up,
the-
he
he
ends up
breaks-
shattering the wooden sword and then
Yeah.
is like trying to stab him with the sharp bits and then just goes after one
And then
of the
just
other.
grabs
yeah.
a sword from somebody and chucks it at him and almost catches him in the head. And then Scott Adkins is able to pull that out of the sand as he's grabbed another sword from another guy and is trying to kill him. And
Yeah, it's
Scott Adkins slashes his face.
it's a strange speed ramp from like, oh, I'm kind of jealous of you and like you're making eyes at the girl that we both have a thing for to like I'm gonna fucking murder you. Like it is a quick jump.
Does Japanese Norman Reedus does he have a thing for her?
I think so because I mean well, all right. So there's not to jump around in the plot, but there's a scene later that's all like gross and fetishism. But he basically is like he's implying that like I've come for the two things that were owed to me: the box of weapons and you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's just kind of leering at her like that. So I mean, plus who the fuck ties someone up in like that if you don't,
Yeah.
if you don't have some weird kinks.
Yeah.
That guy, went to Boy Scouts, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Learned all the knots.
Yeah. But there is one scene where he taunts Scott Adkins by mentioning how he's an orphan who was left by his mom who didn't care about him, and his dad was a drunk that killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the sensei, the leader guy,
Yeah, he whooshes in and overhears all this.
yeah, he whooshes in, whoosh, and this is the point where he should have gone. No, you're out. But this is like
or maybe at least like
Yeah,
ninja,
this is right
ninja
before the
suspension.
duel.
I mean, you,
Right,
you think
yeah.
you'd have ninja suspension before you get
Well,
expelled.
you need to put him on a ninja performance improvement plan.
Right.
Just
or
give him a ninja
or like
pip.
an after-school ninja special or something, like detention.
right. But this
Nintention.
that actually happens right before
Right before
the
the
duel.
Mm-hmm.
So like
That might have been a way to settle it, maybe. I don't know.
I
but
don't know,
also it's a
man.
bad idea. Like here,
Yeah, here's
work,
the guy
work,
you
work
hate.
it,
Why
work
don't
it out
you-
with sticks.
Yeah,
See how that works out.
that's the ninja way.
Yeah, it is.
they should have kept all the swords out of it
That's true.
completely, but
Yeah.
I think this guy's just a bad leader. Like he should have known that this guy sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bad Ninja it leaves and of course becomes a hired assassin because that's what everybody does when they're disgraced from a martial arts school.
Yes,
is they become a bad
Once you
guy.
have learned all the ways of killing and
Yeah.
they kick you out, then it's like, well, what else am I
Yeah,
going to do?
I guess I'm just going to be that killer for hire, and
Yeah.
he ends up working for the Ring, which is basically the Illuminati. It's the ultra rich white dudes in New York that are like, we
Yeah.
make all the business decisions in the world, and we can have Russian oligarchs killed and stuff like
It's
that.
the stonecutters.
Yeah, so
Also, unnecessary in this movie.
totally unnecessary.
Utterly unnecessary.
Absolutely unnecessary. No reason for it to exist in this movie.
Nope.
It gives Japanese Norman Reedus something to do.
I mean,
He doesn't even need to work for them. He can just be a gun for hire. You know?
Sure,
But it does
it
give
could have
him-
just been some mafia dudes. Like, I mean, the fact
Yeah.
of this, I mean, they built a giant pagan set for no reason, really. I mean, they wasted
which
their own
was
money.
awesome.
It is. I mean, and probably was from something else. Let's be honest. But
I'm sure we can find a Bulgarian filmed movie that
Sure.
uses that set.
yeah, but I mean, you know, like just lean into what you have. Like he's working for the whatever. Why can't I remember the name of the fucking Russian mafia? The Cosa Nostra. Is that right? Yeah, that's the Italian mafia. I don't know.
I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to get on their
Oh.
hit list.
Fine. Whatever. Them.
The guys from John Wick.
Yes.
Right.
Baba Yaga.
Yes.
No.
No, I know that's a witch.
Okay, Google, what is the Russian mafia called?
Everyone's got their name.
The
Yakuza,
guys from
but-
Nobody.
Oh,
She was listening.
okay.
They do that.
And now you got to edit.
I'm so used to them not like responding.
the fuck up.
This is
Jesus
not
Christ,
John-
she's reading an entire Wikipedia article. Fine, fuck no. But I'm just saying, like, there was no reason to have it be this Illuminati
Yeah,
thing. It could have he could have just been gun for hire.
It could have been a dude on the phone.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it's like, hey,
He works for the Russian mob. Just somewhere for him to go to be like, I'm. She's still talking.
yeah, she's still reading.
Hey Google, shut the fuck up.
I didn't mean to cause this, I promise.
What have you done, sir? What have you done?
He's gonna go. He's just walking out there with his fist like,
I will fucking fight you, Google.
you want me to give you one? I'll fucking give you one.
Hey, what's the fucking punch in the mouth? Sorry, I was ready to start fucking Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an unnecessary detail in this movie that he is working for the Illuminati, and they order him off to kill a Russian oil guy because, I don't know, they're American oil guys, and it makes their stock go up, right? And they do things like brand people and just, general pagan
Yeah,
type shit.
to join their pagan
Pro
cult.
tip, like if you're ever in a social situation and someone says to continue you must be branded, leave.
It's not worth it.
Leave.
Not usually. Like,
That's my thing with like criminal organizations. It's like, let's give you something that makes you easily identifiable.
right. Like, you have to be really committed to that, and you shouldn't be really that committed to some sort of crime syndicate.
Right.
Especially as just like a dude.
I-
Like, you're never getting back what that brand has taken from you.
Yeah. I mean, like I have a line that's way before that. Like I go with the Groucho Marx. I would never join any organization that had me as a member. But I'm saying like,
You're gonna have to leave then.
Yeah.
but I'm saying like, if you get to a point that you have committed and they're like, next step is branding, that's when you exit stage left or right. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
unless
So
you're
we've
unless
got-
you're a horse, and then I don't know, disregard all of the
You
above.
don't have a choice. but they're so Illuminati. They've hired him.
Mhm.
He kills the oligarch. There are some cool kills in that scene where he chucks a dart through the top of a guy's head that comes out his chin.
Mm-hmm. But the other downside of this era is
Yep.
CG blood.
Everywhere.
Like the old Expendables, which I believe
Yep.
Boaz Davidson eventually had a hand in, the latter ones, I believe. So
It's a lot of CG blood.
yeah.
You know, the cool thing is almost all of the action sequences in this are really rather good and really rather enjoyable. The bad part is, of course, the CG blood. It's a lot, and it's unavoidable because of the era. I don't know who started that, but put them on the blame list for this movie.
I mean, if we're gonna make that Cinema Sin book, I'm just gonna go ahead and put James Cameron in there for, convincing everyone it could do everything with CG and water, like effects and
Fair enough.
we have CG metal now. It's like don't yet, but
Yeah. and either it's gone away or they just figured out how to make it look real at this point.
I think at this point they've gone back to squibs. I think people were like,
yeah.
Why not? Like it looks
Really?
it looks more real, and we have safety measures. You're not going to get burned by it anymore. So
Yeah. I mean, just watch Total Recall. It's like, fuck, dude, squibs.
Yeah.
Yes.
They also really just do it more subtly and better for the most part, at least in big movies nowadays.
Yeah, and also big movies are PG-13, so there's no blood anyway.
yeah. I mean, we are knocking that, but I believe there's CG blood all throughout John Wick. I mean, at least the first one, but maybe not all of it.
It
but a
doesn't
lot
look
of
bad.
It doesn't look bad. They have gotten better at it. If it is there, I'm pretty sure it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, but anyway, that's really the only sin of these fight scenes. I mean, there's
that
a
and
few.
the speed ramping and also unnecessary
Yeah.
visual effects, because like at one point, evil ninja dude is like his sword starts spinning so fast it basically becomes a lightsaber,
Yeah, that's right.
and it's like, why? Like it's just
Yeah.
it's got trails. Like
Yeah, it feels like, hey, nobody's done this before, so let's just show off, kind of.
yeah,
But everybody'd done that before.
Yeah.
That's not a new
Because it
thing.
just looks like him swinging a lightsaber.
yeah, it does.
so
It really, yeah.
It's almost cool.
The-
I'll give it that. It's almost cool, but they just missed the mark,
I don't know if his like 300 killing session was. That's when he goes to the actual dojo, like the good guy's dojo, right?
Yeah,
And kills everybody?
because with the plot as it is all these ancient ninja artifacts are in a box.
Yeah, ever
Like,
since
and
ever,
it's-
because they're not training to be ninja. It's whatever the art around it. It's like soka.
Yeah.
Soke is is the leader of the
Oh, is
the
that what it
school.
is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy's name. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought they were talking about a style of fighting,
No, it's like a
or maybe that's okay. I think they said you're going to be the next Soke, like
yeah. They've got a
Senpai,
style,
okay.
and it's called something.
All right,
don't
because I
know.
mean they never refer to themselves as
We're
ninjas,
not
because
ninja
the
experts
opening
here.
ninja scroll, it basically says that ninjutsu's been outlawed since the 1600s, and it gives us some flashback feudal style fighting, samurai versus ninja kind of stuff, just kind of laying the brief history of ninjas out, and then it's like, yeah, but they got outlawed and now all their stuff is in this one box, and it's called the
you
Bora
had to
Bora,
you had to say it.
the Djibouti. I don't.
Oh, the Yoroi Bitsu.
Yeah, the Yoshimitsu.
Yoroi Bitsu.
I think
Right.
that's the guy from Soul Calibur.
No, it's Yoroi Bitsu.
yeah.
Yeah, but so because they're having graduation, and
Like
that-
and families were invited. That's what I think is great. It's like it's not just a ninja graduation. It's like it's not just like the ninja are there to get their diplomas or whatever. It's like they brought family.
ninja diplomas.
They're scrolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the family is there to see
They're
them.
human
to see them
skins.
walk.
They're not sheepskins. They're actually
Aw.
just made out of human skin.
But but the bad ninja interrupts it and is like, "Hey, just so you know, you should appoint me next." And he's like, "No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's
This was
stupid.
the
We
many
kicked you
years
out."
later. Like he shows
Yeah.
back up and he's like he's been a bad guy for a while.
Yeah,
he's
and,
got
and this is after we've seen scenes of him just murdering fuckers,
Right.
and working for the,
they're like,
the
yeah, you should make
Illuminati
you should
guys.
make me the guy and give me the box. And they're like, no, get out of here. And he's like, all right, and
You're gonna
does.
regret that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then shows back up later after like Scott. They're basically like Scott Atkins and
The daughter.
the daughter are like, we should get that box the hell out of here. So let's
Yeah.
pack it up and take it to New York City.
Namito.
Yeah. Yeah. So they take
Namiko.
it to New York City.
Yeah, Namiko. And then
Basically, the next day after they've sent the box to New York City,
yeah, he shows back
he
up.
shows up and he's like, "Hey, told you I'd be back."
Murder time.
Gonna
Give me the
kill a
box.
bunch of you in the rain in slow motion with CG blood that's way too red for the way that scene is lit.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to change the color of the damn blood.
No.
The worst thing was like
This was the scene I really didn't like because
there was so much rain.
It's such a direct 300 ripoff.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm not aping for an episode title or anything like, but it's the first thing that popped in my head was like, oh, good, it's 347 Ronin.
They just needed they needed half the rain and then the blood to be somewhat visible because they were trying to make it visible and cool and contrasty. And another thing that fucked up movies for a while is Sin City.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 300's right there too. It's got the same Frank Miller. Occasionally, it looks like a comic book. Sometimes it looks like a film.
Right.
And that's fine if your whole movie is styled that way. Like if you want
Or
to,
if you're good at it.
or if you're good at it. I mean, like if you but like you can't have your movie suddenly become an anime in the middle of like a movie that hasn't been an anime. Like like
Right.
either go all
Unless
in
it's
or-
Kill Bill Volume 1.
Okay, but I suppose. But I mean, his Tarantino's movies are such a mishmash.
I know.
Gazpacho of film types anyway. So
A gazpacho of film types. That's our next podcast.
Yeah. But yes, this scene is just aping that, and it's not really doing anything original or new with it. But he does get to the sensei and poisons him, has the antidote, says, hey, give me the box. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
I'd rather die. You need to learn that I'd rather die than help you at this point, so fuck off.
yeah, then he breaks the antidote, that's fine. Guy's gonna die. Like you could just sit there and watch him die, but he's like, no, off with your head. Like,
Yeah.
and so, I don't know, like why poison a dude, like, and then just cut his head off? I mean, seems like a waste.
I think he was implying that he had a way he had not taught him of how to stop the poison. Because he kind of implies that when he says, I never taught you this. So I think that might be
Oh,
what
yeah,
that
no, I
was.
think he
So
said,
it's
like-
I never taught you this, which is like to be a giant asshole.
Yeah.
Well, I think his line was like, everything I taught you, because he's he's fighting him and he's just countering everything because it's like, because he's reaching for all his gadgets. Because like we should mention that like now he's become modern day ninja. He's gone like, it's weird.
Cyber ninja.
He's basically Snake Eyes and Scott Adkins is Storm Shadow, but they're reversed in terms of like, because like
who's the good guy and
who's the bad guy? Because like he has I call it Solid Snake Eyes outfit because he's got fucking his ninja mask
Helmet.
can become like it has pop in night vision. And
He's
shit.
actually the guy on the poster, not
Yes.
Scott Adkins.
Yeah, but I mean he's got twin handguns in the back. I mean he's got all kinds of like modern shit on this. He's like half cyber commando, half ninja.
Yeah, his sword like it's like a snap out
Collapsible,
sword. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like he's all modernized ninja and stuff. So,
And that's one of the things that he does is he like turns out all the lights.
right. And
He
then,
slices out all the candles, and then he pulls his night vision.
I love that
wings
sound.
over
Like
his face.
I don't know. Like night vision things have probably never made that noise in their entire life when they've ever
The
turned
first
on.
one probably did,
Maybe.
and now all the rest sound like a cheap disposable camera from
Yes,
the 90s.
I want the sound of a flash warming up
Yeah.
when I turn on my night vision. That's what I want. That's what
Well, just like how all mechanical doors in movies sound like the ones in Aliens that they ripped off and used in Doom, and now it's like they all
Right.
have that. Everyone, whenever you think of a space door, it's going to sound like that. Same thing with night vision.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know the sound.
Yep.
Yeah, just like whenever I hear a creaky door, that's the sound from Daggerfall. I don't know if that's the original sound clip from it, but every time I hear it in a movie, it's like that. And it's like, oh, I'm like, I know that sound.
Yeah. Well, just like the Howie scream is it's the Dark Forces scream.
Yeah.
It's not the Howie scream. Don't even try that.
Right.
Howie scream. Who's taking credit?
It's from Fireproof or whatever the one is with Howie.
Oh,
with
Howie Long? Yeah.
Long,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that was the first movie that scream is in, but I believe Dark Forces came out before that. So
Okay.
it was some kind of. It's a better Wilhelm though.
Yeah.
I will always love that scream more, and I don't know if it's just from playing Dark Forces a billion times or not.
I think it's just, I mean, it's, the Wilhelm scream's like 100 years old at this
Yeah,
point. I mean,
yeah.
it's like, and it's everywhere. So what did I see recently? I was watching, I remember it was like talking about jokes that this is so digressing, but
That's fine.
I watched the Ratchet and Clank movie for some reason because it was leaving Netflix, and I was like,
Oh,
or something
no.
like that. I was like, I liked these games, and I never watched the movie. Let me knock that out. But there is a scene where a guy falls and does the Wilhelm scream, and one of the other guards is like, "Wilhelm, no!" And I was like, the audience for this is
you give a slow
so
clap?
not gonna get this, but I don't care because that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I had to think about where the hell that joke was, but yeah.
So anyway,
back to
he
ninjas.
has killed the sensei,
Uh-huh.
and the only reason he knows how to find everything is the daughter will not stop calling, and the caller ID shows the professor's apartment where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And the professor is
He's in a made-up New York phone number because it's 212, which is the real area code.
555. Yeah. But that's how the bad ninja now knows to go to New York City, and he calls his Illuminati buddies and says, "Hey, you know what I want? Get me my thing."
Go get me the box.
And we can only assume he's given them the professor's number. Who the professor is actually Biggs from Star Wars.
Is it?
New Hope.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
I would not have caught that.
Yeah.
Wedge maybe, but not Biggs.
Not Biggs. Yeah. So they've been. What's happened is apparently the professor makes a lot of money because he has a fucking nice ass apartment in New York City for one that he's hosting all of them in.
He's also only on the second floor. That's how.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, but still, that place is huge.
It is big,
and
yeah.
Yeah,
outfitted.
it's for New York City. That's palatial. But he also works at a whatever college it is. I don't think they ever identify it, but they have a nice ass vault. Like more vault than any college should have.
Oh, that was supposed to be the college.
Yes.
I assumed that was like the Natural History Museum
no,
or some shit.
it's like a college.
It was called Triborough University.
Yeah, because the guy had a campus security badge
Oh.
when Scott Adkins catches him at the
Okay,
end.
I mean, he must have worked at Indiana Jones University where they have the fucking Ark in there. and
I
shit.
guess, but yes, they have a full vault where they've put it in the vault, and they haven't told anybody this. So this has all been set in place. So Illuminati has a bunch of Bulgarian dudes show up to murder and get murdered
In matching jackets.
in matching jackets, of course.
That's how you know they're bad guys. They have the red Dracula teeth on the back. I mean, it's supposed to be the ring. That's their symbol on the back, which it's like it's not a ring. It's like a ring with teeth. It's like it looks like somebody's goat's eating the ring. But
Yes.
but all
It's
you
kind
see,
of a cool logo.
yeah, it's kind of a cool logo. But like they wear black motorcycle jackets, have the ring, but all you see is the top triangle. So you're like, ooh, bad guy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those jackets are really cool. Like, I want one of those jackets. They look fucking awesome. They're the bad guys, but whatever. They look cool.
Well,
you can be a bad guy.
the Nazis, Hugo Boss. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying the bad guys have a history of like dressing well, unfortunately. So,
And then ruining it for everyone else.
well, I mean, did they? Because Hugo Boss is still around.
They didn't ruin it for Hugo Boss,
yeah,
I guess.
he cut a good deal.
All right.
Clearly. Anyway,
It's a car of the people.
yeah, but this actually kind of begins our first real fight scene. I feel like
Uh-huh.
because a lot of them have been like, oh well, it's a duel or it's this ninja just murdering people. But this is the first one where it's like, okay, you've got two other guys who I don't even know if they get names, but it's them, the daughter,
right,
and
yeah.
Scott Adkins, and then the professor. And the professor is like promptly capped. Like they like kick the door in and just.
Oh
boom,
yeah,
boom.
he gets the I mean, he gets like the Kabuki theater death because it's like it's
Oh, that's
behind.
right,
He's
it
like
splatters on the-
he's like behind a screen and it
Yeah.
gets splattered on the wall.
Yeah. But they trash this nice apartment. And the thing that bugs me about so many of these scenes is it seems like he breaks a dude's arm or something or his leg and then the guy just gets up and keeps fighting like without consequence at all.
Yeah, it's after they escape this, they do some running and they eventually like end up in the subway after they get out of here. And there was a point where she grabs a dude's crutch, just a random bystander on the subway, and starts fighting with it because she's
Absolute best
which-
moment in the movie.
yeah,
She's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's demonstrated that like bow staff is her skill because she's mocking Scott Adkins' skill when he's practicing with it and all that kind of stuff. So like she gets this crutch and does a cool pose and all this stuff, but ends up
with the end of a crutch with the
Yeah.
the shoulder end of the crutch at the guy.
Yeah, and but ends up like getting the dude's arm caught in the armhole of the crutch and twists it, which
We get a good
Should,
celery
like,
crunch.
yeah.
out of it.
It
should
should
break your arm.
practically shear off
Honestly,
the front of his
like I
arm.
mean, that's the thing is like I was like, oh god, like why have I never seen anybody break somebody's limb with a crutch? That is beautiful. Like, and then like I want to make a movie where like someone does that, and then like at the end of it, they just like walk over and hand them the crutch, and then like walk
yeah,
away.
or do it on their leg or something.
Yeah, just like at the very end, just be like here.
Yeah,
and then just
but
walk off
no,
and cool.
but it's that sort of thing that happens in that scene. Like the guy clearly is like, oh my god, and there's a crunch, but 2 seconds later
Yeah,
he's
he's
back
punching her,
swinging
yeah.
at her and punching, and it's like, we talk about like geography of fight scenes and chase scenes, but there's also continuity of chase and fight scenes where it just feels like this doesn't have the proper continuity in a lot of its scenes,
Well-
where it's like they've been choreographed well and people are hitting their marks, but somehow in the editing, like it got mixed up.
Well, not even necessarily editing. I mean, jumping back to a scene, the assault on the professor's apartment, one of the other 2 ninja students that came with him that don't have names gets shot center mass in the chest, and then still, I mean, I buy that he dives forward and finishes stabbing one of the dudes with the gun, but then he just gets up and starts escorting her out of the room.
Yeah.
And it's like he's been shot at least through the spine, if not the lungs, at least,
And there's blood clearly on him, so it's not like a continuity error.
No,
it's just like he
yeah.
just got up and used ninja adrenaline or something.
Yeah, but
It's called ninja adrenaline.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he probably gets shot again from the side, protecting her. But I mean, it's just like, dude, like, I mean, you can be tough, but like,
But we just don't see that enough. I gotta say, where
Which
it's,
is just like
where
take
it's
off
somebody
the gun.
gets shot and it's just like, I'm dying, but I'm gonna fucking kill you before I go.
I'm fine with that. Like I said, the first action I'm okay with, like following through and being like, I have enough strength to continue stabbing you, but getting back up and like walking her out, that's where I'm like, oh come on.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Anyway,
But it's pretty good. They end up jumping out of, luckily, the second story and getting out of there. He jumps over a car to get away.
it looks sort of fake. I don't know what they did with that shot. It looks real, but it also looks, I can't tell if it's CG or wires or a combination.
The car is driving slow, and it's wires. It's
Yeah.
got to be.
Yeah.
It looks mostly pretty good.
It's not
but-
bad. I've seen worse. I've seen, like,
there's
like,
worse
I mean,
later on in the movie.
Well, I mean, even like later movies, like I mean, I'm sorry, like they're kind of fun, but both the Red movies are like should be shot into the sun for bad use of CG and impractical like physicality things, So, or RED, not like retired extremely dangerous movies. Those ones, not just things made in Russia.
Yeah, from here they go to a no-tell motel and.
And
we
like the
learn-
worst one ever. Like they're basically like kicking a John and a hooker out of a room, and then they're just like, "Here's your room." It's like, can you at least like bring some Febreze in here? Some Lysol?
I mean, that
Febreze solves everything.
yeah, that really to me helps sell the greasiness of the place.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because other than that, it didn't look like it looked like not a great hotel, but like it's not bad.
And they
but
take
that makes it greasy.
They take the weirdest sad shower ever.
Yeah, they take the sad shower together, all clothed.
Like it's so bizarre because I mean she's shaking. I mean she has just a bunch of people murdered, which I don't know. Like
you've been trained to be a ninja. Lady.
that's where I'm going with it. I mean it's like
Yeah.
maybe you haven't actually done it, but your whole life has been about the act of murdering or best ways to do it. So
She's also pretty sure that her father is dead. So
okay.
That's mostly why she's shaking. 'Cause,
All right. I mean she should have vision at that point. She's an orphan at that point. But no.
Yeah. But what they learn here is on the TV, they are now the suspects in the murder because they were seen fleeing the scene, despite all the other guys with guns and the cars that were crashing.
In a better movie, in a better continuity movie. So one of the things they do, and it's one of the reasons why you would even introduce this into the plot, is it's like the next day after they've had the sad shower and everything, like she just gets up early in the morning and is like, I'm going to go get coffee and sandwiches. You go to a deli in New York and ask for a sandwich and I guess see what they give you. But because that's what she does.
Yes, for 2 coffees and
two
just
sandwiches.
literally two
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
Yeah, whatever they are. But this guy is like part of the ring and recognizes them and calls the bad guys on them again. But what I'm saying is like there should have been a reason. Like there should have been like a brief scene of like one of the police guys seeing the footage of them get out and be like, okay, they're the suspects now. Because it's a dumb jump to conclusion of like, why did they even know they were there?
Their passports.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, why did they assume they're like, just because somebody's passport's in your house, do you assume they're there? And I guess, I don't know, like...
The passports are there. A bunch of people are dead. They're
Okay.
gone.
All right.
I mean, right. I get that this isn't exactly the way that it probably should work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should be persons of interest. They should be questioned, but
Yeah.
they shouldn't be like the main suspects. It should
Yeah.
be all of the guys in, matching jackets that
Or
had
dead.
guns, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yes. What happens is she goes to order their sandwiches, and that guy's part of the ring. He calls the ring guys who show up and just start trying to kill them again. And we do hear them mention that they need to take her alive at one point. One guy does tell them, so that's why.
Probably because the guy secretly loves her, the ninja dude. So
And he wants to find out where the
that
box
too.
is.
Yeah, he
The
wants
Yoroi Bitsu.
both the boxes.
Yeah. And they probably know taking Scott Adkins alive is probably more difficult. Which proves true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
'Cause-
this is where the subway fight ends up, right?
Yeah.
Because they basically run away from this. Like, or Scott Adkins goes back up to get her sugar for her coffee and notices the guy looking shady and is like, "We got to go." And I mean, there's more running through the city bits before they get to the subway and stuff,
Yeah,
but-
and the way they have her character, it kind of bothers me because it's like she's capable for the first 45 seconds and then she just runs out of gas and then
Yeah.
gets her ass kicked.
yeah, it's like instead of being like "Yes, madam," it's more like "Yes, damsel." It's like sometimes she can fight herself, but then sometimes she needs to be saved. It's so weird.
Well, she ends up needing to be saved basically
Most
every
times, yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It just feels like it's like, hey, this girl can fight, but she can't win. And it seems to happen every scene where it's like she's kicking the dude's asses in the beginning, and then the guy gets one hit on her, and she's like, ow, and then is getting tossed like a fucking rag doll because that stunt woman, they chuck her a lot, especially in that train fight. Because after she's one of the guys whose arm she broke, whose arm magically heals, like just basically almost throws her through one of the doors.
Yeah, yeah. After like one of those comically leaned back hits to the baby maker. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's like does one of those like 1930s Donnybrook punches where it's like
Yeah.
I'm really gonna lean back.
Yep. Yeah, and but I mean, this fight is fun because they use the train to their to the choreography
Yeah,
advantage.
it's sort of like the buses from Shang-Chi and
Yeah.
Nobody and stuff. It's like trains where the old cool confined space to fight until they're like, what if it's even smaller? A bus.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're jumping through like I don't want to say luggage rack, but like the entranceway, like
The
they're-
handrails.
yeah.
Yeah.
And God, he uses the handrail to swing on and just cracks a couple of the dudes.
He does like a weird, like almost like reverse kick off the handrails, like, and then like front kicks a guy or something. It's like,
Yeah.
He grabs the handrails, flips backwards, and then kicks a guy on the top of the head
Yeah.
as he's landing. Ugh.
yeah.
That's good. That's good shit.
Yeah. And he does defenestrate a guy out one of the windows just as the other train is coming. And we're like, yep, it had to happen, and I'm glad it did. But then he realizes the other guy is basically about to kill her, or at least he thinks. And so he's able to just get this guy, and he does a karate chop that just breaks the dude's neck and then gets all sad about it. And I'm just like, you just chucked a man into an oncoming train. Why do you feel bad about this one?
Maybe he's sad about all of the people he killed. He just chose that moment to finally be sad about it. He's like,
To be-
oh, yeah, that guy and 3 others. Man,
Yeah.
am I making poor life choices? Yes.
Why did I become a ninja?
This is the thing that he needed to learn, though, is to be ruthless and to to strike.
Yeah. It wasn't Chop Suey, it was Chop Ennui.
Right.
But I think that's the thing I like about this is the fights do not. Everybody feels like they're getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
I know so much of it is filming. Okay, get this angle, so he's not even close to punching him. But
Right.
so much of it, like I mean, there's dudes getting kicked in the chest. There's just a lot of, nah, you hit that guy. Like that guy had to have gotten hit.
Yeah. Action movies are basically, they tickle the same part of your brain that wrestling does, where you're like, I know this is fake, but make it look real.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Like, sell it.
Yeah.
And if it looks painful and isn't, great.
Yeah, and this scene is successful. It's significantly better than like the Rain fight 300 scene.
Yeah.
Like this is like, okay, this is almost like from a different movie. This is so much better.
Yeah.
But they get away. But what happens is, as soon as they get off the train, they're arrested by
I
the
was
cops.
gonna say that's when they're surrounded by cops because there's really only like 4 set pieces in this movie if you think about it. I mean, it's like there's like the fight scene in the train, there's the fight at like the dojo, and then like basically the police station, and then the final fight. You know, it's like
Well, I mean, there is the one in the apartment.
Okay, that's a quick one. Yeah, but it's all right, fine.
Yeah, I mean, they do kind of ramp them up as they go.
Yeah, so they basically take into custody, we're suspects. He tells the story, and of course the cops are like, yeah, right, magical murdering ninja, magic ninja box, sure, right. Why'd you kill him? And then, of course, the bad ninja. What is his name? Like, so I keep having something to call him. Does he have a easy name?
Matsusaka.
Masazuka.
I was close.
All right, Maserati.
You weren't.
Evil Maserati ninja.
Yes, I was close.
Evil Mazda. I'm going to call him Mazda
Masazuka.
because Mazda's better. At least it's not Italian.
Well, he does zoom into rooms.
Right.
It's more of a whoosh. But,
I'm just going to go with Mazda because it's fast and I can say it.
and it's mildly racist, so go with it.
But so like Mazda basically is like goes back to the Illuminati and is like confronts one of the guys who didn't manage to catch him on the train or whatever. It's like, where is he? In the 54th precinct. Okay, I'm going there. And just it's like doing the Terminator. I'm going to go in the police station. Damn it all! I'm gonna get those people. And I'm going to go cut the power. First he poses as their attorney, which gets him in the door, and then goes and cuts the power. Anyway, but like Scott Adkins, as soon as his power's out, it's like, it's him. Let me go. And they have to.
Cop's like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And leaves him handcuffed to the table. Her, they did not handcuff. To which she jacks the cop who comes in to try it. And they're like, lady, we're just trying to help you get out of here.
Yeah. Just more.
Even though she's a murder suspect.
A murder suspect who's just assaulted a fellow police officer, and they're like, hey.
Yeah. Don't do that, lady.
And a person of color.
And a person of color, right? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. In the real world, she would have 6 slugs in the back, self-inflicted.
Although, like, no, I'm going to skip that.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip it. I'm not going there.
Yeah, let's not. But no, they're trying to escort her out, and of course, Masazuka shows
Masa's
up.
There. He's going to kill everybody.
Yeah, and he's got his gear back on again with his night vision goggles. So he does a smoke bomb, but basically it's a thermite where it flashbang blinds everybody. She runs away while he decides he's going to kill those cops, track her down. He catches her because she's about to fight him, and he's like, no, don't even try that. And like, I don't even think she gets to hit him once before he basically gets her in a headlock and puts her to sleep.
No, he's immediely got her in the ninja headlock,
yeah,
which
he's
like,
just like, why are you bothering?
It's barely even a headlock. It's like, and it's not even a sleeper hold. It's like a 1/32 Nelson and just go to sleep.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm more than 32nd Nelson on my father's side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Scott Adkins has ripped the table out of the floor in order to get his handcuffs off.
Yeah,
or able to get out of the room.
This is almost a cool scene. Like, they work it really hard, but it's still just kind of like, okay,
well, they're doing so much cross-cutting between him and her and Bad Ninja, so that it's kind of it kind of takes away the tension from any of them.
Yeah, and they show the bolts so many times that are rattling loose and like literally just loose in their, in whatever they're fastened into.
And it's like cutting back and forth was driving me nuts.
No, Scott Adkins was driving the nuts. Actually, what's driving you nuts is the steering wheel is attached to your testicles. But like the bolts are rattling, they're loose, and he's still just kicking the absolute dog shit out of it. It's like you could, in the time it's taken you,
just loosen the bolts.
Just kneel down and unscrew those bolts, and you'll be free. But also, yes, so many cuts of the same like rattling bolts.
Yeah, but the scene does end with him self-defenestrating through the mirror.
Yeah, through the one-way interrogation mirror.
To get out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why does everyone call those two-way mirrors? That doesn't make any sense. I mean,
one-way mirror.
Well, no, I mean, like, one-way mirror is what you should say, right? Like, everyone says two-way mirror. Is it because, like, one side's a mirror and the other side's a looking through? Is that the two ways?
Yes, that's. Okay? I believe that's the etymology of it.
I mean, it's a one-way mirror, in that it's only a mirror one way. It's a window the other.
A one-way mirror only allows you to see one way, which is back to yourself.
Remember when there was only one mirror? That's when I was looking at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh.
But anyway, the cop is convinced that it's a ninja by seeing the ninja and Scott Adkins saving his life before the other guys get killed by the ninja.
Yeah.
And then he's basically like, I got to go after him. And they go up on the rooftop and they fight some more.
He fights briefly, but then he basically just Batman's out of there. Like he's got a weird, like he's come prepared. Like he's got a weird harness for her, like her unconscious self. He basically like harnesses her to the front of him, and
Well, he's obviously all about tying shit up.
sure, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. And then he produces a human kite. Like he just
it's a wingsuit.
It's a Batman. It's a fucking Batman.
Yeah,
He pulls a Batman.
it's more of a Batman villain in the human kite. But yes, I mean it's
Well, what's that? Was it which Batman game was it where you had the fucking bat glider?
all of them.
all the
all of
Arkham
them?
ones.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the second
I mean,
one that
they
had
specifically
the really,
do the wingsuit with the Batman, and the thing is like they treat it like even if you're Batman, this is going to be very difficult in fucking New York or Gotham. So I mean, because he wipes out at the end of it, and this guy's just like wee, like perfect landing, like a bird.
Yeah.
He is a
It's
ninja.
like a bird
It's a fucking
using the
Batman. Though.
stairs.
It looks like a Batman thing.
Yes.
So he's gotten away. Scott Adkins got chucked off the roof by him because he really loses this fight. It's kind of, you wonder why the sensei thought they were on an even level, because every time he just gets his ass handed to him by this guy.
Maybe because the sensei knew once he put on the special box uniform, he'd be the proper ninja he needed to be. I don't know.
He knew if he had the
The rage.
rage, if he learned the rage from Mazusaka. God, I can't fucking remember it. I'm so bad at things.
Yeah, Mazda. That Mazda.
If
had.
he learned the rage from Masazuka, then he'd be better than him, and that is what bears out in the end.
Yes.
He learns the special power of the rage.
Yes. The real ninja was the rage he learned along the way.
Exactly. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert: Scott Adkins wins.
Let's fucking rage. Woo!
But he gets away. Scott Adkins jumps to the other roof to get away, falls into a dumpster. Just the opposite of graceful,
Cool. Yeah.
graceful ninja bat suit. So, yeah, from here, he
This is where he takes and like does the 50 Shades of Grey scene. He takes her and like puts her in this intricate. I mean, he's basically got a sex dojo with like one weird. I mean, it's like a stool, but it's like a stool no one would have in their house. It's like a stool you'd find at like a shoe store that like the clerk would sit on. It's a really weird thing.
No, it's one of those ergonomic chairs.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's one of the kneeling chairs where you
Yeah.
like put your knees. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all.
yeah.
But she's all shibari roped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way this is filmed,
This is-
man,
Yeah.
a guy.
Yeah.
Guy.
Take a rest, bro. Maybe sit this one out, Boaz. Yeah, it's
I thought this movie was made in Thailand
because
she
the rope.
was
Yeah,
roped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's great. But yeah, it's just really, it's filmed very gross. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like he's on the verge of torturing her. He gets really close. He's grabbing in her hair. There's a weird angle that she's filmed from, so she's not filmed like straight on. Like it's like she's turned a little bit, so she's looking.
It's also filmed down, so she's submissive in the film shot.
Right.
Everything about it is gross.
Yeah,
It's like it's a rape scene without being a rape scene. Basically, let's just be real. Like just
Yeah.
like vampires or more palatable rape fantasies.
right.
So anyway, yeah. Anywho, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there's that, and then for some reason his dojo clan symbol is the Blair Witch symbol. I don't know why, but he's got like a neon version of it on the back wall.
It's just it's a Japanese character, isn't it? It's
Probably.
I believe it's a bit of Japanese kanji. Let's.
Sure, okay.
It's not exactly like.
I know. It just like I said, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, is she facing the corner?"
Yeah.
I don't get that reference, but moving on.
That's what happens at the end of the Blair Witch. Sorry, spoilers. Anywho, yeah, so that's happening, and then he's basically, or I think he calls, or somebody calls. He calls her,
Well-
and then he answers, and he's like, "I'll give you the box for her life. Meet me at 3:00 at the pier." Basically, because
Yeah, because he tracks down the Sandwich Man and then fights all the in another big fight scene.
This is a pretty good fight scene. This is Scott Adkins versus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he
15
actually just
dudes.
goes to the Illuminati headquarters. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot
because
about that
because
scene.
he tracks down the dude that had tried to turn them in at the sandwich shop and does a sweet jump where he's doing some gymkata almost, where he jumps, grabs the parallel bars, and just kicks this dude right in the chin, like full
Yeah.
swing around.
Yeah, the guy's trying to escape through like the scaffolding in New York.
And he does a backflip dismount.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, but then I mean, not for terms of style or difficulty in pulling off on the fly, but I think I like his move that he pulls in the Illuminati headquarters even better because like he just busts in and like there's like 4 to 6 dudes that have guns. The rest are just shriveled white guys, in pagan cloaks and shit.
Yeah.
So like the leader dude that's like part of this temple oil or whatever the hell it is like goes running up to the catwalk and he throws something. I don't know if it's
He just grabs a pipe. It's
yeah,
just a
pipe, something. He
random
just
piece of
throws
pipe.
throws him, like knocks him down, hitting him in the shin or whatever. But then like jumps up, grabs the dude's tie, and, like just whips him down from that
He
catwalk.
grabs the hood.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
hood.
and just whips that dude down from the catwalk onto a table. And it's like, yeah,
Fucking wrecks him.
yeah. And I mean, this is like not a guy who's built for fighting, so like
No.
it's gonna hurt extra more. So yeah, like so. The other guys at least had training of like, I can take a punch. This is just CEO bitch.
Yeah, but it's Scott Adkins shows up and wrecks a room of 40 dudes,
Yeah.
which
There's
I liked a lot.
There's a point where the guys like push a table at him, and he does something cool, but I don't exactly remember what it is. Like
Well, they're pushing him back into a wall, and what he does is he jumps up, pushes off the wall with his feet, with his hands on the table, and then does almost like a breakdancing move where he brings his legs around and is able to kick them both in the face.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a little capoeira.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some really really good moves in all of these fights. Like
Yeah, there's like moves you're not used to seeing in these movies.
yeah, and there are also a lot of moves that like I don't feel like we see in US action films. There's a lot of stuff that reminds me of like the what is it? The all the Bangkok type movies where like some people are just getting fucking wrecked.
Oh yeah.
They're not quite as violent, but there's a lot of similar moves where like if it happened to you in real life, you would be dead, but on your way up to heaven you'd be like, "Damn, that was cool."
Yeah. Well, I mean, the secret with those is like some of that shit they did in Thailand and Cambodia and in Indonesia and stuff. With those, it's like they really got hurt. Like, I mean, some of it, not all of it. I mean,
Sure.
They were a lot less strict with the regulations. So.
Right. Well, I just mean the moves.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah.
the moves themselves are really impressive and fun to watch. But that's all I wanted to
Yeah.
interject. It's
Yeah, no, it's
watching these fight scenes is really fun.
Mhm.
It's
Just wish they were shot better. That's all.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
so he's found out from the CEO how to get in contact with Masazuka, and we get flashbacked. We don't know this yet, but we get flashed back to the sex dungeon, the 50 Shades of Grey sort of thing, and Masazuka is like knifing at her, like, "I'm gonna kill you now if you don't tell me where that box is," and clever piece of sound design or clever piece of movie making. You hear the
That's pretty good cell phone noise.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
so. And you don't hear it super loud, but he stops and he pulls out his cell phone, and we're like, "Oh, that's a cell phone."
That's Chappie.
Yeah, that's Chappie. And that's when we get the let's take it to the pier and fight this out.
Yeah, and then I mean, it's weird because this seems like it's building up to be like almost a letdown of a scene at first. Because I mean, literally, he just shows up with her in hand, like nobody else around, and a crane just starts coming down with the pallet with the box, the Yoshimitsu box or whatever, and and he's just,
Yoroibitsu.
okay, and he just like pushes her away, like, okay, I got the box, and then as you said, this box is like it's not quite coffin sized, but it's. Someone could fit in it if they really wanted to.
Just big enough.
Scott
to fit
Adkins
fit
would have a
people in it.
hard time fitting in this box, but some other smaller people might not. But
Right.
anyway, like it was a possibility that he's going to come exploding out of the box.
And he should have, goddammit.
But he opens it up, the box is empty, and then you're like, well, okay, I know what's happening now. And then Scott Adkins, I mean, there was a brief tease of him gearing up beforehand, of him, looking at the contents of the box, but then he shows up full, 400-plus-year-old ninja outfit.
I'm not sure if I'm more disappointed that we didn't get a gearing up montage or that we didn't get a Scott Adkins exploding out of the box.
I'm disappointed.
We needed both.
I have one big disappointment. I'm saving it because it involves the end.
Okay. So they fight,
Mhm.
and Scott Adkins wins. The end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, a bunch of dudes show up though.
Yeah,
A bunch
sure.
of the Illuminati guys show up to get murdered.
Yeah, and both ninja are murdering them, both Scott Adkins and Masazuka.
Yeah.
I will never
Now
remember
she
that
gets back into peril again, and at some point he ends up poison darting her because like the very final thing is like, it's the one antidote again, and smash. Now you can't save her. And I don't really understand this, but it's like he I guess he gets sucked into the powers of the ancient uniform because it's like he almost whooshes back in time for a second and then closes his eyes and just feels where the attack is coming from because Masasuko, is that right? Did I actually-
Masazuka?
Yeah, almost. Masazuka, like
Almost.
he, like ninja spins into disappearing. I mean, it's just like he just kind of spins around and lightsabers his sword for a second and then just disappears. And Scott Adkins
it's
goes into his head, like here's the spirits of the past ninjas, and then it's just like I'm gonna close my eyes and stab backwards, and that's where he is.
So let me give this to you from the Wikipedia article
Okay.
because I didn't understand it at the time, and I still don't understand it now, even though I'm reading these words in black and white and sometimes blue in front of me. It says, as an NYPD helicopter flashes its spotlight on the fight, Masazuka uses a ninjutsu technique to blind Casey with the reflections from his katana and disappears in front of him.
Okay.
That did
Sure.
not translate.
No.
Whoever wrote the movie edited the Wikipedia article to add that because
Yeah.
it's not really.
It
That's
is
not translated in the movie.
Not at all.
No, I mean his sword briefly lights up again, but then we see that he clearly just disappears. I mean,
Yeah. So Casey just closes his eyes and
Yeah.
relies on his 400 years
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
ninjutsu.
not to keep
clothing.
going back to G.I. Joe, but this is like G.I. Joe the movie and Jinx's power. I mean, it's like the use your ears and not just your eyes kind of thing. I mean, it's like it's all connected.
Yeah, but the way it plays out is just like he's got the glow, and that's
He
Kind
does
of, yeah.
have the glow.
yeah,
Yeah, a little
and
bit.
that's suddenly he can do whatever he needs to do because he has the glow.
But he closes his eyes
You
and
are the last ninja.
right. He closes his eyes and stabs Masazuka. Basically, just
Yeah.
like turn around stab.
Yeah.
Because Masazuka has appeared behind.
It's
him.
it's like a stylized, like almost like you're sheathing your sword, but just sort of reverse stab. Like
Mhm.
I know right where you are, and yeah, I mean it's like
He wins.
yeah, it's just like the guy sort of slowly dies, and then he goes over and is like, oh no, I can't save you. He broke the antidote, and then he flashes back to his sensei telling him that the sword has the power to kill, but also the power to heal, and instead of that being like some Taoist like metaphysical shit, it's just there's a secret vial of
Yeah,
cure-all
there's
antidote
just
in the bottom.
600-year-old antidote
Yeah.
in the fucking sword that somehow works.
Yeah. So he just gives her that. It's like in the hilt, and then she's alive, and then the guy starts to get Mazda starts to get back up again. I'm not going to try it again. I did it once.
You
And
were close on that one.
yeah, I just said Mazda that time. But then this is where my problem is like he literally goes over and like does a dramatic sword raise like he's about to executioner style off of his head and does it. And as the blade comes down, as the cut is happening, the film cuts and goes to black. That should have been the end of the movie.
But it's not. We get like 2 more minutes of
Yeah. Denouement bullshit.
bullshit. Yeah.
That's French for it shouldn't be in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
should
I'm just saying
ended at
the cut should have been the cut and the end. Fucking titles, but
Mm-hmm.
no, it's just like they go back to the school and she's sad about her dead dad and all the other
Yeah.
dead people, but
yeah.
they've got
and they
students
mop
still.
up the 50 bodies that dude left,
Yeah, so, but they've got new students. I
and the
guess
cops let him go.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. because we need to know how they got back to Japan.
Well,
Yeah, we did almost get a crane shot finale.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we were robbed of the cut to black finale, and we almost got the.
Well, we did get a crane shot, but it was the wrong kind. It was a shot of a crane lowering something.
Yeah,
into
but
the
that was
sea.
like 5 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
But we almost got the crane shot, crane shot and credits, but they robbed us of that too. And then we got the boring ending.
Yeah.
So it lost some
Yeah.
points there, is what I'm trying to say.
It did.
Speaking of points, it's the end of the movie. It's time to do the rate.
Rady rate.
The Bonnie rate.
No.
Oh,
I can go.
Go.
3 jocks.
let's give them something to talk about.
Yes, I think 3 jocks. It's not the best movie we've seen, but I'd say watch it. And maybe it feels so weird in that it reminds me how long we've been doing this fucking show, that I'm suddenly nostalgic for something that came out after we had started the show.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could have done this in 2009 when it was relevant.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's weird, but movies, even the low budget shit, just doesn't look like this movie does anymore.
Thank God.
I know.
Sorry.
I know. But there's something. It's kind of like how we've talked about how Chuck and I especially talked about how like Universal movies, like a movie made by Universal in like 92, 93, it. Like you're like they sold like a certain film stock or something those years.
The Jurassic Park look?
Yeah, just to Universal. Like Evil Dead Army of Darkness has it. There's like a certain look that Universal filmed movies have, and it's kind of like
it's almost HDR film, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense. It's like everything is super contrasty.
yeah. But there's a very specific sheen that has, and this is kind of like, to me, the 2009 version of that is the way this movie looks. Where don't get me wrong, it's nothing like the Universal 92, 93
No,
sheen,
but it
but
has.
I like about that. And I aside from the CG blood, I think the fight scenes in this are above average
Agree.
to really good. Like I really like the train sequence.
The train fight is excellent.
Yeah.
I really like that the Illuminati fight at the temple or whatever. That one's really good. It's not quite as outrageous, but there's some. It's like, okay, let's give Scott Adkins room to breathe and let him really whip ass here.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get that in the final fight either.
No.
That's where he gets his room to show off what
'cause
Scott Adkins
he's
can do.
fighting mostly a bunch of CEOs. I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's just funny because like that's the only scene he really walks into any confidence with is like a room that's mostly filled with guys that aren't
Well,
fighters.
no, there's a bunch of dudes in those jackets,
there's
and
a couple
there's
people.
like
There's a
20
bunch
guys.
of Euro trash waiting to
right.
get their asses handed
There's like
to 'em.
5 CEOs that are up at the top, and they skitter off. But the dudes that he's fighting are fighters.
And I love the move when he's like just breaking apart the guns in the middle of the fight. Like as soon as he gets a gun away from somebody, he's like yanking off the chamber,
The
or
slide.
the
The slide,
slider.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then he uses the slide as a weapon. Like he takes it and chucks it at someone else.
I've seen that in one other movie, and I don't care. I'd like to see it again. I think it's in a John Wick.
I feel like
Is
I,
it
I
John
feel like
Wick?
I feel like
There's one where somebody gets stabbed with it, and I can't remember what movie that
Yeah.
is.
I feel
Stabbed in the neck with that.
I feel like
with the
I
slider.
feel like
and,
Bourne did a disassemble a gun fight. I don't know if he then used the slide as a weapon or not, but yeah, I mean,
I know I've seen it thrown
Yeah,
at somebody.
I have seen it stabbed into someone's neck, and I cannot. I know somebody is listening to this right now, going, "It's this fucking movie, guys!
yeah. How do you not know this?
Tweet us or email
Why don't
us.
you remember?"
Yeah.
Because
We
we've
have-
seen too many
Please
movies.
remind us, because we know it exists, and we just can't remember.
I almost didn't remember what movie the Wilhelm joke was in, and then it just went. I was like, "What kids thing did I watch recently?" Yeah.
No. But anyway, 3 jocks for me. I enjoyed it. It's not like my favorite movie I've ever watched here, but I wouldn't turn it down if someone asked me in 5 years, said, "Hey, you want to watch Ninja?" Like, yeah, sure, why not?
That's totally fair. I don't know. I feel like I'm close to 3 jocks, but it just doesn't get over that. It's not quite like I'm fairly high on this movie for as bad as it is. I think it's just the fact that it's too much of its era and it's too cheap. Part of me feels like it's the first like 20 minutes I was like, God damn, this is the room of Bulgarian 2009 cinema. Which is
not that
which is a sentence that's never been spoken before, and I'm glad to be the first. and it's not as bad as The Room, right? Like it's made better, but its sensibilities are still in that like poor filmmaking fashion. All of the stuff that's done, all of the dramatic stuff is extremely poorly done. The plot, like the plot itself, when you whittle it down to, just like 5 or 6 beats, it's like, okay, yeah, that could be a cool plot. But then they ruin it with a bunch of garbage like like the whole Illuminati thing. They spend way too much time on it with like TV reports, and they're like, it's like they decided, okay, this is what a movie has to have, is a TV report of all of these Illuminati things going on. But that wastes time, which could be spent on ass kicking. What is Scott Adkins good at?
Yeah, we were promised nonstop violence from the MPAA at the beginning.
Not true. We were promised violence throughout.
Oh, throughout.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what is Scott Adkins good at?
Kicking people in the head and face.
Yeah. What do they try to make Scott Adkins do at several points?
Act?
Yeah, that's a bad thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Scott Adkins, because I'm sure you listen to this podcast, because everyone does, but your strong suit is not the acting part. Your strong suit is the twirling and kicking and being kicked sometimes part. And that's what this movie should focus on. That's what any movie with Scott Adkins, I think, should focus on, is the kicky part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to give this 2 jocks because Scott Adkins only has 2 legs for kicking.
He is good at being a bad guy. Like him yelling racist shit at people in Ip Man 4 works because like when he goes into like drill instructor voices, which is basically what he is in that movie, it's like it works. But his soft-spoken nature is not great. I'm not saying like it's good to be racist. I'm saying it's a good character. It's a good guy you want to see his ass
He's
beat
good
by
at
Ip
doing
Man.
that.
Yeah. So and that happens. Spoilers. Yeah, spoilers. If there's a bad guy, Ip Man will beat them, except for cancer. That's the only one he didn't beat. Anywho, yeah, I'm not as high because I really don't. I've said my piece about Zack Snyder. I've tried. Maybe one day I will come back to a full appreciation. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, part of me feels that he tainted cinema for so long. It's unforgivable, but it's not necessarily his fault. It's people trying to follow what they think is the new hotness. But yeah, I don't care for this look. I agree. I think some of the fight scenes filmed better would be really awesome. It's just they weren't, and they're in this movie. So I can only give it 1 jocks. I mean, I still think it's kind of watchable. I mean, I still would say it's worth a recommend, but like barely, man. Like I just this is that era. I do not care for this era. I am not nostalgic for it at all. Like
You have to be ready to laugh at that. Like, I feel like you're not over it. And not that that's a personal failing of yours or anything, but you have to be ready to laugh at that style. You have to be able to get over the badness and get into the jokiness of it.
And I'm not
Otherwise, it comes off like just really gross and terrible, because it is. But like if you instead laugh at the thing you hate instead of hate the thing you hate.
Sure. And I'm not necessarily wholly against the whooshy 2000 style of editing. I mean, I just like this style doesn't work for me. Like I think I could still be like, kind of nostalgic going back to watch something like Triple X, which is just 2000s extreme bullshit. Sucked into one movie. I mean, so it's just
Well, and made by a guy who's like 55,
right. Yeah.
trying to be cool.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so like I get like there's sometimes some of that whooshy editing and style is funny still, but yeah, not the Bulgarian variety, the copycat, the direct-to-video style doesn't work for me. I mean, it's just everything's so flat and video looking, throughout, and then mix in the low-budget CG blood and whooshy effects and the sword and stuff, and it's just like that doesn't do much for me. I like Commando's Snake Eyes, solid Snake Eyes outfit. That's cool. And I like his. I don't think we even mentioned his unsafe room. He has that closet, his ninja closet he goes to. Yeah, he just has a push button that like. I think it probably wasn't his sex dojo. We just didn't notice it, but that was probably the same room.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has a open up.
But I'm sure there was a set designer who's like, man, since I was a kid, I've dreamed of making a ninja fuck closet.
the kind of person
and they got to make a ninja fuck closet.
Yeah, the kind of person that jerks off to the Bud K catalog.
Yeah. You know the type.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
it's
I still, like I
It's
said, I still
alright.
think it's worth recommending that you watch it. But I will. It didn't offend me enough that I would say I won't watch Ninja 2 Shadow of a Tear. Is that what we are? Is it
Yes.
Yes.
Shadow of a
Tears
Tear.
in the Rain.
Or Shadow of a Tear. I don't know.
We'll find
Probably
out when we
Tear.
watch it next year in next Ninjanuary.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Congratulations. We got 3 weeks of Ninjanuary done.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of us. We went from 9 deaths to 3 ninjas to 1 ninja. We did it. We factored 9 or whatever that's called.
It's like the Fimper ninja sequence.
The ninja sequence. Yeah, okay.
No.
I like that.
So, guess what?
What?
We have a voicemail.
Cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. Give me a second.
Sorry.
All right, I got it ready. If you or were we already set up to play?
Guess what?
What?
We have a voicemail.
Really?
Really?
On the Garfield phone hotline at
Oh.
910-556-9263. That's 910-5 Jocks BMF.
It's my line, but yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's play.
I was just doubling up on it, so you can say it again later.
We could
Well,
rule
now
of
it won't-
threes.
Mm.
Rule of threes. We got to say it 2 more times.
Hey guys, Jason from Dallas here. First time Garfield, long time listener. Wanted to talk about the Three Ninjas movie and got me thinking about what makes a good kids movie, what makes it stand the test of time, you know? And to me, it was a movie that doesn't treat kids like idiots, man. Like if you could just write a good story and engage them emotionally or in the action or whatever is going on, but the adults that are watching too love it as well. That's really what's going to make it a good movie all along. Examples for me would be Sandlot, Fly the Navigator, Never Ending Story. And yeah, I know you're going to say those are good movies, good movies, but maybe that's the point. I don't know. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Thanks, Crash and Burn. Talk to you later.
Sorry, that was as loud as I could make it.
Okay, no
I
problem.
cracked everything I could.
He definitely took my example. I was going to say Sandlot is one of them, but
Yeah.
I think at some point in the 90s, and it might be Home Alone that did it, but we went away from just telling stories that were kind of aimed at kids having an adventure, and it became more, no, you have to like pitch it at a 6-year-old level, or it's not for them anymore. Like Goonies.
Yeah.
I don't think Goonies would be made nowadays, or it would just, and I'm not the biggest fan of Goonies, but I at least appreciate the adventure aspect of it, where it's a bunch of kids going around just doing cool shit that kids want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not treated like, like slide whistle sound effects and everyone farting and just stupid shit. Like, and for somehow, I don't know what happened where it became like, if you're doing a kids movie, it's got to be slapsticky.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a parent and I haven't been a kid for a long time, but my guess is that somewhere the sensibility changed, because like we grew up in an era where our parents were basically like, get the fuck out of the house for at least 3 hours a day. I don't want to see you. I'll call you when it's dinner time.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like parents need to know where their kids are all the time, know what they're doing all the time. I mean, we talk about helicopter parents. I just feel like everyone's that now compared to what we grew up with, and I just think like, the world in general, like kids don't know what going out and having an adventure on their own is like anymore. So why would they crave that? So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just, that's part of it. I think with like cell phone technology and, tracking and everything, it's like, we're not just allowed, kids aren't just allowed to go out and get into trouble anymore, really, like we used to.
Yeah.
They still do.
I mean, they
Trust
still
me.
do, but I
Trust
mean,
me.
it's like, it's different. It's just like most times it's like, now it's like they know. It's like we were just going out and like, exploring and like necessarily we know we were doing things like, I mean, I can't remember how many things I got yelled at for doing. I was like, oh, okay. Like now I know, like stop, got it. Message received. Like didn't know this, what I was doing is wrong.
Yeah. It's tough because I feel like things have become so formulaic in filmmaking, and there's everything's so focus grouped and so dedicated to, okay, what's your target market?
Mhm.
Okay, now what appeals to them? Okay, now do that. No, don't do this because that part of them might not like this, and it just feels like stories aren't necessarily being told anymore. It's become a formula, and it's like, okay, well, this is a kids movie, so this is what kids movies do.
Yeah, and I think also animation has taken over a lot for kids media in general. I don't know what was the last kids movie that was like a live action kids movie.
I mean, God, like I would
I
say,
can't think of one recent.
and the thing is, I'd say Super 8, but I feel like Super 8 was not aimed at kids.
No, Super 8 is
absolutely
not a kids
No,
movie.
Yeah.
that's way too scary for kids. I mean, like, still, this is old because like he's long since been a kid. But like Holes was a kids movie that's really good, and that's from 2005. I mean, that's
Yeah,
Shia
that's-
LaBeouf as a kid,
17 years ago.
I know,
So there aren't many kids
yeah.
movies these days, I think, that are live action. I think it's been farmed out to animation mostly, and they can just they can crank those out. You also don't have to take special care of children on set because it's really difficult to have a child on set, because we put a lot of protections in, to protect these child actors who got ruined by their parents taking all their money and also by being overworked. So it's a really good thing that we have all these protections, but it also means that the studios are less likely to do it. So they save that for they save the child actors expense for dramas that adults are going to pay to see, or that somebody's going to pay to see, I guess. So I think those two things kind of go hand in hand at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame because now I'm thinking about it. Occasionally, things will come out, and it seems like the role is just like, nah. Because Joe Wright, not Joe Wright. Joe Wright does atonement shit. Who's the guy that did Attack the Block? I can't remember that director. Anyway,
Joe Carnahan.
Yeah, Carnahan. I don't think it's
No,
Carnahan.
not Carnahan. Ah, shit.
Yeah. Anyway, whoever that was, I think did. I think that's who did that.
The
King
Arthur
and
one,
the King
right?
Kid in King Arthur's Court basically thing or whatever. It was like a modern version of that, but it's it's pretty good, and there's just, I'm saying, generally the role is live action kids movie. Bleh.
Joe Cornish.
Cornish, yeah. I knew it was a Joe, but
Yeah.
not right.
I knew it was a C.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying, I think he did it that Kid in King Arthur's Court or whatever it was, or
Kid who would be king.
Kid. Oh yeah, I guess it's more like The Man Who Would Be King, but with kids. Yeah, okay, that's right. Not Twain. Anyway, but yeah, I'm saying they're few and far between, but generally the role is just yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think CG and animation has mostly replaced that
Yeah.
Yeah.
because there are good kids movies that are well written animated things. They're just few and far between. And again, I'm now going back and realizing how old some of these movies are. But Monster House was a really good kids adventure movie. It just happens to be CG. It's
Yeah.
Monster
and-
Truck.
Monster. Yeah,
Yeah, Monster Trucks. I really like Monster Trucks.
Yeah, Monster Trucks. Is that a kids movie? It's
I think so.
Yeah.
it's not a young kids movie, but it's definitely a kids movie. So yeah. So they're few and far between. Animation has ruined it.
Yeah, and
Child
we're
labor
just,
practices have ruined it.
and
also
there may
has-
be
Good
better
thing.
one. There may be ones out there now. We're just not watching them.
It also probably has to do
You
with
know.
the fact that it's just so fucking expensive to go to the movies anymore that most of kids' entertainment is they know they're just going to be looking at an iPad or half looking at a television. So why bother? Because their
Right.
parents aren't going to spend $30 to take their 3 kids to the movies minus food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, tell us.
and well, I have a whole rant about Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and how all their live action sitcom-y stuff basically destroyed that market by making everyone think that, oh, the kid has to be the sassy know-it-all.
Yeah.
And
Well, you can save that rant for
Yeah.
your own podcast.
I will.
'Cause we're done with this one. Unless we have do we have another voicemail?
No.
Do we have an email?
No.
I could swear we had an email.
Don't think so. Maybe we do, and I missed it.
Yeah, I just realized both of my examples are from around 2005. Holes and Monster House are from that mid 2000s era. Actually, Holes is, I think that's older than 2005. That might be
It must have just
2001.
been the voicemail that I saw an email for.
I want to say Transformers around 2005. The first Transformers.
2007.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, a lot of kids' movies these days, like, aren't necessarily featuring kids. They're featuring teens that are actually actors that are older than teens. Yeah, I'm saying, like, people playing younger.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, girls had, like, the Sisterhood, the Traveling Pants movies a few years ago that, you know, for teen girls and tween girls, whatever, but it's like the people playing them are all way older than what they were portraying.
For good reason.
Yeah, because they can work longer.
Yep. But yeah, if you have a good kids movie, have a good recommendation, like we're down to watch that. Maybe not for the podcast, but we're down to watch it, like, you know, as individuals. Get on the horn, you jabronis. Call us up, 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. That's the Garfield phone, the BMFcast hotline, and that's where you can reach us via telephone. If you just want to email it to us, you don't want to actually talk to us, how dare you? bmf@bmfcast.com, that's our email address. Leave us a little note, and we will possibly read it on the podcast.
I would like to make one small addendum before our listeners, like, just come at us real hard of, like, how do you not mention this? But
No.
Harry Potter and Hunger Games, all these big franchise things are kids' movies.
Hunger
basically.
Games is not a kids movie. That's a young adult.
Yeah, young adults or kids. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just...
Well, yeah, I don't think the youngest targeted Harry Potter movies are good.
Okay.
Like, the first two suck.
That could be mostly Chris Columbus, though.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And those also came out like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But
Well-
I mean, just saying, like, franchise things, and I mean, Marvel movies are kind of kids' movies. I mean, the kids have plenty of things to watch. It's
Yeah.
not, you know, I think we're just talking about, like, something aimed at kids, like Labyrinth and The Neverending
Yeah.
Story, and, like, you know, things like
The
that.
never-ending
And
story
we don't
isn't that
get
great
anything
anyway.
like that
Neverending
anymore.
Story's good. You just watched it at the wrong time.
It's not a good. It's not a good movie. I'm putting my foot down. It's not a good movie. It may have been acceptable for a child, but it's not a good movie. I'll die on this hill.
All right.
I'll probably cut this out of the podcast.
I mean, I'll fight you because I don't like the Dark Crystal, but, you know,
I like Dark Crystal. It's pretty cool. It's got puppets.
it's Skeksis.
Yeah.
I like The Labyrinth, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Labyrinth's good.
Could argue that that's almost not a kids' movie. Also, it's weird because it's so strange.
It's
So
strange,
strange
but
and dark.
That's the thing is, like, why do you think we're fucked up? I mean, like, we watched some fucked up shit growing up.
Because our parents hit us. That's
Yeah.
why we're fucked up. Generational trauma.
I mean,
Well, I mean, all my friends and I, we watched Gremlins when we were like 7.
yeah. I mean,
Like 7 times in the theater.
yeah. Gremlins, fucking Watership Down, the beginning of E.T., Secret of Nim, all these things fuck you up.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
I read a bunch of war books when I was a kid. That was awful. They were entertaining, but like awful for a kid to read.
Return to Oz, that shit'll fuck you up when you're a kid.
God, that movie's fucked up.
Yeah.
Ah.
Is that the one
No.
with the weird mirror scene?
That's
Like
the one with the
gross-
monkeys that have, like, the uniwheels, like, monkey things.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Ugh.
The one with,
Gross.
the one with young Farouja
Ew,
Balk.
gross. Anyway, email us about your childhood terrors. And then go to our website, which is bmfcast.com. Check us out on the socials. Join our Discord. We'd love to have you there. We have great channels. Mackie's doing this cool topic of the day thing, which everybody seems to be having a lot of fun with. Great job, Mackie. We're proud of you.
Yeah, send me suggestions.
Yeah, because he's been doing it for a week and he's running out of ideas. But no, it's a lot of fun. We hang out all the time in the Discord and chit chat with you guys, and it's a joy. It's one of my joys lately is having fun. I mean, there's a bunch of nightmare shit because the world is terrible, but
Still is.
yeah, and that will never change. But like, it's good to talk with cool folks about it. So
Yep.
check that out, and also have a nice day, or else
Thanks.
not you, them.
Oh.
Can I not have a nice day?
You can have whatever kind of day you want. I don't care.
No.
I would just want.
Just
I'm
leave me out of it.
Specifically wishing for our listeners to have a nice day.
Okay. Well, let's get out of here so that they can continue the rest of their nice day.
Cool.
All right. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast out. Or don't have a nice day. I don't care.
Future topics of the day. Solve the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Planned Parenthood. Thoughts?
I tried to do that. I did pineapple on pizza.
Oh, okay.
And I just like the only thing I wrote after that was like I chose violence today, and then,
Wait, did you actually do that?
yeah, and then I changed it just to favorite pizza topping because it immediately went to
okay.
like, oh, well, I like pepperoni, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm just fucking changing it. But that was the original post was pineapple on pizza ? And then like the first two were like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like it. And then it was like, I like pepperoni, and then I was like, fine, I'll just fucking change it.
All I will say on the pineapple pizza thing is, in the right circumstances, it can be amazing.
Yeah,
There are a lot of times when it is not.
I've had I like Hawaiian pizza. I like regular ass pizza. I just like pizza. I'm not a
Yeah.
like I read Marvel and DC. Go fuck yourself. Like I'm not choosing sides.
Pizza agnostic.
Yeah. Like if I want ham and pineapple on this pizza, that's fine. I'll have it, homegrown Italian sausage on the next one because I prefer that to pepperoni. Mostly because pepperoni doesn't like me anymore.
That's a
Like,
shame.
I love pepperoni, but it gives me like unending heartburn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a
Like
shame.
Tums doesn't even touch it. It's just like, ha! I laugh in the face. You're a pepperoni.
So I normally don't have issues with heartburn. I get indigestion from time to time like everybody else does. We've all been to Taco Bell, whatever. But I made some homemade tomato soup this week, and I just used canned crushed tomatoes, but it turned out to be a pretty acidic soup, and it tasted really good. Like it was the best tomato soup I think I've ever had. Patting myself on the back just a little bit, but I deserve it. But within like 10 minutes of finishing a bowl, my stomach was like, oh, no, not now. You've crossed a fucking line, brother.
Go get the box of baking soda and swallow it.
Pretty much. I was sitting there for like 10 minutes like, ugh, why do I feel so bad? And then my stomach went, and I burped, and I was like, oh, ugh. And like,
Daddy, can I see the dragon?
I jumped out of my chair and ran to the bathroom to get the
I'm sorry,
Tums.
I have to sound the old man alarm on my own reference.
But yeah, I ran to get the Tums and just like immediately crushed several of them.
Yeah, crushing Tums, bro.
Yeah.
Tums run.
I'm 40 now. I got crushing Tums.
I go to fucking Tumspriga every year.
Yeah. It's a good thing I bought so many mixed berry Tums.
That's the best kind.
They are the best kind.
They actually almost taste good. That's how bad they are.
Exactly. I left them on the coffee table in case I needed to.
Yeah, they're almost like Smarties or something. I mean,
A little bit like Necco wafers, kind of, just a little bit the good side of chalky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, we used to have Tums parties here
Yeah, we did
before
we
the
did.
podcast because Chuck like pops them like candy, literally.
Yeah. I don't think he even needs them. I think he just likes them. But
It's
They're
probably
tasty.
it's probably the only calcium he gets in his life.
well, like I don't know if this was like the doctor just giving me a thing or telling my parents to do a thing to shut me up. But I used to have really bad growing pains when I was pretty young. Like my shins and everything would hurt from my bones growing. And it's not like I reaped any rewards from that. I'm only 5'8", so all that pain for nothing, just like everything else in life. But the doctor apparently told them to give me Tums when I had the growing pains. Like the calcium in Tums is gonna help the pain. It doesn't. They should have given me
Flintstones vitamins.
or Tylenol.
Or Tylenol.
Or aspirin or something, some sort of painkiller for me. Like it didn't make me tougher. I'm still a fucking pussy, whatever. It's been a lot of negative talk about myself tonight, I think, but that's all right.
I'll help. I mean,
I don't need the help.
oh, sorry. I
think it's
not
a
really. It's just jokes.
I think it's a defense mechanism. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't know if that helped me develop a taste for Tums or Necco wafers and or Smarties. Smarties, for those of you across the pond, are way different here. It's a chalky like thing. It's not an M&M.
It's basically like chalky sugar
Yes, yeah.
compressed into a little tablet.
It's like if you took confectioner sugar and compressed it, and then bit into it with
So
the
Smarties
tiniest
are
bit of flavor.
more like Skittles other places?
M&Ms.
They're just chocolate?
Chocolate with
Fruit
with the
covering?
candy coating.
Oh, candy coating. Okay.
They're
So
pretty
it's
good.
nothing fruit about them at all in other places.
Correct.
Just okay.
Yeah,
They're just
no
straight
fruit.
up M&Ms. Okay.
Yeah, straight up M&Ms. I mean, they're legally distinct from M&Ms probably, and anybody who's had Smarties will tell you they're different, I'm sure. But
I was not aware of this. I thought Smarties were just the chalky,
Yeah.
semi-fruit tasting things.
yeah, it's like
I say semi-fruit because it's like like an apple fucked a box of chalk.
yeah, it's only the the barest
Yeah.
fruit flavor. Are they even fruit flavor? Or are they
I
just
thought they
like-
had some slight fruit, fake fruit flavor, sort of like the same thing as like
Yeah, but
like
it's
banana
it's,
runs or whatever.
It's
but like
almost
a lesser,
indistinguishable from like as a flavor. You couldn't put a Smartie in my mouth and say what flavor
Oh,
Smartie
sure,
is
no.
this.
Not like a Jelly Belly.
I
where
might be
you
able to
play that
tell you
game.
like it's a green one or it's a pink one or it's a white one because the white ones have no flavor. It's just all sugar. But
Yeah, I mean, like playing the Jelly Belly game, you can do that. Like,
Right.
they actually taste like the things they're supposed to taste like.
most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, like when I had a buttered popcorn one and it tasted like buttered popcorn, I was like, "Fuck you, evil geniuses!" Like,
Yep.
that shouldn't be allowed in a fucking jelly bean.
That's all just diacetyl.
What did I? Oh, I don't even think it was. It wasn't even Lay's when they were doing their weird chip flavors. It was 7-Eleven had hot dog chips.
Yeah, they're pretty good,
Hot
aren't they?
dog
Fucking
chips.
amazing. They taste
Really?
exactly like
Yeah, they
a
taste
hot,
hot
like a greasy hot dog stand hot dog with mustard on them.
Oh man.
Yep.
There's
There's a bit of ketchup in there.
yeah,
too.
a little bit of ketchup too. It's just like they shouldn't be as good as they are. Like I'm just saying, you open up and it's like I am on the street of New York City about to order a fucking hot dog.
They smell like a
yeah.
hot dog too. It's the wildest thing. It's like they boiled down a bunch of hot dog water
Mhm.
somehow and
Yeah.
sprayed it on chips.
I want to move to Canada just so I can have ketchup chips. Do we have
You
them
can
here?
get ketchup chips here. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. You just have to go to the right. Like you can't just go to like a white neighborhood convenience store. You
Thought I have to go to like a super white neighborhood.
no.
No?
You
Okay.
you find the weird flavors in the non-white neighborhoods.
Huh.
I'll bring you some ketchup chips next time I go. There's this place off of Myrtle that has really good cheesesteaks.
Okay.
So it's a historically black neighborhood, like so historically black that it's almost right next door to a place where they played a bunch of Negro League baseball games. Like, but it's called Durkeeville. The neighborhood is called Durkeeville, and the shop is called Durkeeville. And it's just this convenience store that it's almost like a bodega. Like, it happens to have a flat top griddle and a fryer. It's weird, but they have all the good chips, including like all the flavors of wrap snacks, which is pretty cool.
What, like the Migos snacks and shit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, they've got all those. They actually also have. They always have the Voodoo chips,
Okay.
which is awesome.
Zapp's Voodoo chips.
Zaps, yeah.
Yeah, they have them at
'Cause
Publix now.
You can't get them
And
everywhere,
Winn-Dixie,
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Zapp's Voodoo chips are like the best fucking chips.
they're basically all dressed chips,
I know, but they're
which means they're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have there's like a next level Voodoo chip. Like there's an extra Voodoo chip. I think
What?
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Where?
It was at Durkeeville and Co. I'll
Fuck, I gotta go.
I'll grab
Durkeeville.
some. I'll grab some next time. I
Please.
go. Maybe I might go this week.
Lady,
But yeah, they're like double Voodoo or something. I don't know.
shaking that stick, or driving crazy.
They're really fucking good.
Yeah.
But this place has really killer cheesesteaks. And so I go there, I used to go once a week when I was working. I'd go down, take a long lunch and go down to Durkeeville. But they have all the fucking snacks. Like,
Just so I'm
you've never seen
clear,
snacks in
you are
Whitey's.
saying like it's like turkey but with a D, right?
Durkee.
Okay.
Ville,
Just
yeah.
making sure. Just making sure it wasn't like Derpyville or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just
You ain't
making-
doing shit. Come on down for some Durkeeville cheesesteaks one day.
I do like a good cheesesteak.
It's a good cheesesteak.
I actually missed the cheesesteak place in St. Augustine that had the pinball tables. That was a
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
good
yeah.
cheesesteak and
Yeah.
pinball tables.
It's closed down.
I think it's still there. I think the guy stopped leaving his tables there.
I think so.
Because, yeah, it was the bartender at the place next door, famous place. I can't remember the name now. Something Grady's or I don't know, whatever.
It's not Scarlett O'Hara's. It's not Rosie O'Grady's.
Yeah,
Is it
Rosie
O'Grady's?
O'Grady's is in Orlando, right?
I don't know.
Isn't that
It
place?
was. I think
Yeah.
it's gone now.
Scarlett O'Hara's is not close to that place. Are you thinking like the A1A?
Yeah, is the ale house or ale works or whatever. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. But yeah, he was like the bartender there, but he, was a pinball enthusiast and had some of his tables in the cheesesteak place next door.
That's a good spot. I haven't been to St. Augustine in a while. But I did go to the Leitner Museum for the first time the last time I went there.
Oh. Do they still? I mean, is the pool, the empty pool area still part of it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I haven't been there since I was a kid.
It's weird. They had a guy down there like playing piano when I was there.
Like in the pool
Yeah. In
So
the empty pool.
for like the echo and stuff.
Yeah, it sounded really cool. Yeah. They also have a restaurant down there.
Okay. Like I said, I haven't been there since I was a kid. I just remember I'm sure my brain, kid brain. I just remember feeling like a foot was like fucking that pool was like 30 feet deep. I mean, it's like
It's deep.
unnaturally deep for a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they filled it up all the way, but God, if they did, that
Yeah.
like frightening.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was like I just remember that but I'd say I have like weird. I don't know if you ever have this. Like if you haven't been to somewhere since you were a kid, like sometimes the perspectives are all off. Like
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, because like I had not been to the alligator farm despite living in St. Augustine or half an hour from St. Augustine, Florida forever. I hadn't been there since I was like a little kid, and I don't know why. I remember like the main alligator exhibit, like the part where there's all the suspended bridges over the alligators. I don't know why. I remember them being like 10 feet up above. No, they're like a foot up off the. Like the alligators are like right there, just like behind a net. Like
Maybe you were there at low tide as a kid.
yeah. I don't know why. I just like I had this memory because I had this distinct memory when I was a little kid. I had this denim Woody Woodpecker baseball cap that was like my favorite thing. And I lost it at the alligator farm. Like I was bent down, like looking at the alligators, and it fell off my head. And
one day you're gonna come across a gator with a
the
Woody Woodpecker hat in the
on,
woods, and you're gonna have to fight
and
him.
a ticking clock in his belly.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I went back there, like I took when my grandmother moved down there, we took her because she had never been. So we were like, let's go see the alligators. And when I showed up, I was like, oh shit, they're like right there.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just thought I remember them being like really high suspended bridges over the alligators. Like, it's actually almost like it's bordering on scary when they do feeding time there because you're so close to the water. Because like they just know when the trainers come out on that platform with the bucket of chickens, like
It's time, yeah.
Yeah, they come from every corner of that. I mean, if you've never been there or seen pictures, it's like they have this one alligator lake thing, giant pond, where there's 50, 60 alligators in it. I mean,
tons
at
of
least, like, yeah. And yeah, when they know it's feeding time, they just, like, almost start fighting each other, all trying to get there. And it's kind of fucking primeval.
And scary.
Yeah. I mean, you're basically kind of watching fucking dinosaurs fight over food, more or less, like, without the feathers, I guess.
Pretty much. All right, well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Alligators and crocodiles haven't changed much since prehistoric times. They got a little smaller.
Nope. Yeah, and we were talking about kid stuff. I wanted to bring up Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
Lyle Crocodile?
Yeah, there was a
fuck is
movie
that?
called Lyle Lyle
Is that actually good?
Crocodile based on a book. No,
Oh,
he's clearly an alligator.
okay.
It's a piece of shit.
Oh, no.
Fuck that movie.
God damn it.
Wait, how are you? What is the distinction? Isn't it like whether their teeth are on the inside
Pointy
or the
nose,
outside?
square nose.
Oh, okay.
Crocodile,
He
pointy
wears
nose.
Florida Gators gear at one point.
Really?
His name is Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
Well, they're all from the family Crocodilia,
They're different.
but
He's
but-
not a fucking
but
crocodile.
So he's more like lie, crocodile.
Yes.
nailed it.
That movie can burn in hell.
Does Lyle Crocodile come from the Nile, or is he just in denial
I bet
about
that's
being
in the
an
movie.
alligator?
It seems like that type of movie that it would be in there. He apparently he sings
Oh,
like on Broadway.
so you haven't
or
actually
some
seen this?
shit.
You're just.
I've seen the commercials
Okay,
for it.
all
I've
right.
seen enough.
Oh, apparently the Paddington movies are good.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Nailed it.
And you saying that, I was like, I've heard that both Paddington and even I heard Paddington 2 is better than Paddington 1, but
I heard they're both just like the most therapeutic movies because it's just people being nice.
it's just joy. Yeah.
And the power of being nice to people wins in the end.
That's great. That's not realistic at all, but it's
Yeah.
great.
Hey, we should teach our kids that. It's like, so they can have false hope.
Teach them to love.
Yeah,
and
like
let
Santa
them
Claus and Easter Bunny and Jesus.
teach them to love and let them lead the way, just like with robots.
I'm just kidding. Jesus was a real person.
Was he?
I mean, probably.
I don't know. Show me his bones.
They're by Obama's birth certificate.
Okay, so they're real and accessible?
Yeah.
Okay, show them to me. God damn it. You fucking thing. Stop this. You suck. All right, well, let's get out of here, shall we? I'm Rocket Raccoon.
Wait, we didn't have a single chat in the chat today, did we?
Not a single chat.
Not a peep.
No. Everybody was busy, I guess.
Guess. Weird.
I don't know.
The Discord was really slow today too. I don't know if there's something going
Yeah.
on or what.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, nothing in the politics channel indicated that there was something going on. Normally,
Any more than
normal, right?
Yeah.
Just the normal amount of bullshit. So, I don't know. Maybe people hate us. Maybe now that I have started editing, people are like, "Oh God, without Chuck at the helm, this thing is fucked."
Yeah. It's all right, BJ, and I'll be the old couple on the Titanic spooning.
Yes.
Sorry, you're out. You have to get up and, I don't know, say something.
Get on
heroic.
deck and play the motherfucking violin.
Yeah, you can do that.
I can.
Or rearrange the deck chairs, whatever.
I'd probably be that guy that falls and hits like the propeller or whatever and does the spin.
Dong.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great sound effect.
Yeah. I'll be the dead baby floating in the water. Such an unnecessary shot. Like the rat in fucking The Departed. Fucking ruins an otherwise good movie. The last shot.
I'll just be one of those guys in steerage that you never see. Just dead.
I'll be Kate Winslet's nipples.
Nice.
All right.
I guarantee that was the first movie a ton of kids saw boobs in.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It wasn't, I know it wasn't my first, but I don't know, I was, 13 when that came out?
Jesus. Wow, if I had to...
It was the
I'm-
first
I'm
movie I
pretty
saw
sure-
Kate Winslet's boobs in.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure mine was Animal House.
It's probably either Beastmaster or Airplane.
Yeah, mine might be Beastmaster now that you say that.
Either Beastmaster or Airplane, probably one of those two.
And I remember thinking like when we were watching Deathstalker, I'm like, maybe I saw Deathstalker because I feel like
There's a lot of nudity in Deathstalker.
Deathstalker is more than Beastmaster.
It's a lot of nudity in Deathstalker, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
And
quantity over quality, though, really. I mean,
Yeah. It is kind of nonstop.
When you're a kid, any is better than,
I know, but
like,
what was
more
is
is
it,
better.
Is
More
it,
is
I
better
always
when you're a
confuse her.
kid.
Is it Tawny Katane? Is that who's in? No, that's the White Snake girl, right? Who's
Tawny
in?
Katane is the White Snake girl.
Yeah, but who's the lady in Beastmaster? Is it
Dude,
not
I
her?
don't
Is it?
remember.
I was confused.
Maybe it is Tawny
It
Katane.
might be.
I don't know.
I'm saying there's a couple like of those like pinup style ladies that I always confuse their names. Why doesn't my thing want to type? Tanya Roberts.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the mom from the '70s show. That's right. I mean, I feel like Airplane barely counts, but I mean, you do see boobs in a PG movie.
Which one?
Airplane.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah, that wasn't my first because I remember I saw Airplane at I saw that scene at somebody's house. Like I was over at my friend's house and his older brother and his friend were watching it, and like literally that scene happened. They were like, "Hey guys, come in here, watch this," and just yeah, that reminds me of that scene. So, but no, that was not my first. So,
I don't remember what
Press.
my first
probably
was.
Beastmaster.
It was probably something on HBO.
Beastmaster seems like the thing I would have seen.
Yeah.
Not no one would have known it was there.
We
Or
got
just
some,
or just one of the guys, something like that. I don't know.
we got some pirated cable pretty early on.
I definitely didn't say Animal House for a while.
We got legitimate cable for a while, and then we turned it off, and my dad said he canceled it, and they never, for like 3 years, they didn't turn it off. So we just got free cable for 3 years.
Yeah, we had that for a long time.
Yeah, before they had the special boxes that
Yeah.
where you could just if you screwed it into the TV, it just worked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I had that even into the early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember even when I didn't have, I figured out that like even though I didn't have TV service at all, like I didn't even have Comcast. Period. I just took the Comcast cable, plugged it into my HD TV when I first got one, and realized like you don't just get like 10 channels, you get like 50.
50.
Yeah, because there's like all the different digital tune ones that they can't shut off.
Yep.
And so like yeah, it was just like holy shit, I have a lot of channels.
Okay, so the weirdest one is back in, it must have been 2001 or early 2002. With Comcast, if you had one of the old one-way, I think it was still a I think it was a surfboard back then. But if you had one of the old one-way where you still had to dial in,
Right.
but then you'd get cable downstream, all you had to do was know the number. And you plug it in and get it to dial up, and you'd just connect, and you'd have free cable internet. It was like 2 megs down, but that was still pretty speedy for back then.
And my first surfboard was I think it was 1 meg down. The first one. Yeah.
Yeah. It was somewhere in that range. It was, better than ISDN is what I remember.
Yes, which was 768 both ways.
Yeah.
Why do I remember these things? I don't know. Oh, because I work in
Because you
IT.
worked in it, yeah. And you're a big fucking nerd.
Oh, right.
Yeah, got him.
I'm actually a.
You're a
I'm a
medium-sized.
normal sized nerd,
I don't know.
maybe bordering on small actually. Really.
Are you a gamer medium?
I still wear a 2XL, but it's because I like baggy shirt. I really could wear XLs. But
I don't like baggy stuff anymore.
I threw that out at some point.
oh, the gamer medium. Yeah,
Gamer medium thing. It fucking killed. Great job.
Yeah.
Thanks for the joke.
no problem.
There was one point when right before the wedding where I was down to actual legit medium.
No, you weren't. You were never a fucking medium. You could fit in a medium, but you were never
Yeah.
a medium.
Yeah, but
I see
like
dead people.
yeah, but medium shirts fit. It was really weird.
Well, your arms looked huge when you were wearing a medium shirt.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, just your build. I don't even think you could pull off a medium. Like your shoulders alone, I think would stretch a medium out. Am I wrong?
You were slim, but like your mediums were like
I'm just saying, like my best shape of
maybe
my
you should
life,
be
I've
too
like
tight. Yeah.
never been a medium since I hit puberty. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
Well, maybe I'm trying. It was never t-shirts. I'll say that. Like t-shirts were always large.
Yeah.
I went from XL to large, and I kind of stayed at large from here. But like there were certain button-down shirts that a large was too big, so I had to get a medium, which was
Yeah.
it was a very strange feeling, and I don't think I can fit in those anymore.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Once you got married, you fucking let go. You look like shit now. I kid. You look great.
I did.
Fine.
you look like a minch.
What you
I mean,
did
you're
was
saying
you
you look
stopped
like a man.
you stopped going to the gym like every day so that you could look great
Yeah.
for your wedding, and you went.
Well,
you,
I mean,
you
I still
equalized.
kept going to the gym until I left the job at Mint, and then after that, are we still on?
Probably.
Still on the internet.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but it was once I left that job that I couldn't work out anymore because I was just.
Yeah.
I could never get out of work early. I could
But
never-
you've
Nobody cares
equalized.
about our health habits, so I'll go ahead and take us off the internet.
All
so.
right. Good night, everyone. But yeah, it was.
You still are in